We're live. We're alive. And I have a freaking second monitor right now set up in use. What a dream come true. Maury, welcome in. Look, this everything. I've changed everything. I've changed everything. We're like updated. And now you can actually see Toast when she walks across. Isn't that something? Isn't that just something? Okay. The everything. I have a second monitor now. So I've got the game stuff happening over here, and then second monitors over here, and it's got chat. It's got OBS. It does not have the YouTube live control panel because that is being funky right now, but that's okay. And I have, like, now the camera sits in between the two monitors on its own little stand. So theoretically it won't be jumping around. I mean, not that it really was before, but hopefully it won't like wobble a bunch while I'm like playing games. And then yeah, now you guys can see Toast a lot more. She's super in the way right now. I'm not going to be able to be here while we're you know, doing stuff. I'm going to open up Clover Pit for the beginning of the stream. And we'll do a little Clover Pitting. We'll do a little gambling. And then we'll figure out, I'll chat with y'all a little bit, see what you guys are feeling, and we'll see. Oh, it opened it up over here. I don't want it over here. I want it over there. Hi, babe. Can I squish you over here, please? Can I get out of full screen or something, like long enough to get you over here? Hello? Clover Pit. Clover Pit. What are you doing? Settings, video, off of full screen, and get thee to my other monitor. There we go. Now go back into settings. Video, full screen on. Okay. I still want over here right now. Will the lemon pie return? We'll see. We'll see. This is about all I can do, honestly, while Toast is literally sitting here. But you know why she's sitting here is because I have tuna. And so it's kind of really my fault at the end of the day. All right. All right, so if you all, I say guys, there's, you know, all kinds of folks in the chat. But if you have anything that you are thinking maybe would be fun to look at today, let me know. Toast, yeah, you're just really in the way. The only thing I don't have fully, like, sorted out at this time is my microphone mount thing is like, well, like a little in the way of the second monitor, but not super in the way. So anyway, I'll be taking bites. I'm gonna try really hard to make that not y'all's problem. But just know that that's my aim, is to not bother you. But I also did not get a chance to eat before this because I spent all morning taking care of all of this restructuring. Theoretically, though, this is going to help us a lot moving forward. It's going to help me a lot moving forward. Hopefully, this will be a good change for all of us. Okay. All right. Hold on. Everything is very loud for me. Everything's quite loud. Hold on. It was because I was on stream yesterday with Narrow Raven and Doc. If you guys want to see that, it's on Narrow's channel, where we were talking about Escape the Pizzaplex and whether or not it's canon, trying to find some sort of evidence that it is canon for an upcoming Narrow video. So, oh yes, thank you so much, Trans Butterfly Queen. I also didn't say hi to folks who came in, but like hello Maury, hello Evan, and hello Butterfly, and hello Clavis. I think that's everybody who's commented. What was I saying? I don't remember. Anyway, oh yeah, no, that's not what I was saying here. Anyway, I've got my drinks. I got my old chair back. I brought it from, brought my old chair from downstairs, or from upstairs back downstairs. Because I thought that maybe I would move my office upstairs, but that is no longer an option for reasons outside of my control. Okay. Oh yeah, where we last left off was we only got to like play around, I think. That's not a bad one. It's like 7+ pattern is so crazy though. We don't have any modifiers on the 7 right now, so I don't know how worth it that is. This always feels like a good one. Let's do shiny red rock. Yeah, that's not worth it at all. Hi, Mars. That might be worth it, but I just don't know. This is really great. But just so early, I don't know if it's worth it. But let's see, we've got 13 coins. Let's just pop in here. Let's do 7 spins to start out. Well, no, let's do 3 spins to start. Get that extra ticket, and then we'll do the other one on the next one. We'll make these lucky guys, though. Okay, a little something. Man, these lemons are really letting us down today. Okay, okay, we got some clovers. Alright. Alright, she's recharged. That's great news. So let's see here. This will be really good later. I feel like... yeah, this will be really good later. Hi, Zeta. Hi, Theory. Welcome in. This will be really good later. We're just going to do this a little bit at the beginning. Okay, so it's a variety stream, so I'd love to hear if you guys have any, like, things that you'd like. I kind of want to spend some time talking about Agony and FNAF, if you guys are down for that. I'd really like that. Can you stop hovering? Sorry. It is a really cool game, Zeta. It is so good. Very addicting. Very addicting. Okay, let's do 7 this time. Hold on, let me turn in some of my stuff. Okay. Actually, did we die last time or something? Because, like, I think we may have died last time. Right, that's settings. Okay. Sounds really cool. Feel like Remnant has been a big focus. We should look at Agony. Yeah, it would just be nice. I think it would be fun to talk about. I know you guys know a little bit about it already, but Sorry, I'm like starving. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. Alright. Let's do 7.
Let's go gambling.
Let's go gambling. This is so depressing. Can't find the mustache emoji. I just don't know how long I'm going to be able to like stand talking about FNAF, so I didn't want to like make that the focus of the stream. But I want to pull up some like resources for Agony, just so we can like, I don't know, get a better, okay. I don't know, I want a better grip on it for the theory times, you know, for obvious reasons. Because I do want to touch on it. Okay. In Remnantplex 2, of course. Okay, thank you, Theory. So yeah, do you guys have anything? Hi, Yumi. I'm doing well. I know you're asking chat as well, but if you guys, yeah, have any relevant stuff, if you're in the Discord, hi, going to therapy. Any relevant stuff about Agony in the Discord. Honestly, you can put Remnant stuff in there too. It's all connected. I just love to like kind of chit chat about it for a little while.
Gambling.
Let's go gambling. Oh, dang it. That sucks. That sucks. That would have been maybe a good time. Maybe I should have gotten the 7 thing. Maybe I should have gotten the 7. That's on me. That's on me. Maybe I should just grab it. It's just a ticket. It's simply just a ticket. Okay, well, I have enough to get us to my next round. Okay. I'll just grab it. I'll just grab it. I should have had it then. All right. I do not play Roblox at all. Alright, we'll play another round of this and then we'll get into other things. Feeling lucky. Feels like I need to do this guy because I don't have anything else for Clovers or bells right now. It just feels kind of silly. Okay. Oh, grants 1 jackpot the next round at the slot machine. Then discard this charm. Can I put this? Wait a minute. I can get this and just put it in the drawer and then use it when I, like, desperately need it. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay, we're definitely getting that before we leave. All right, I'm going to play around so we can get this. And then, toast, don't you dare. Don't you stinking dare. That's my food. Okay. And then we'll get the pony before we leave. Aww, congratulations, Yumi. That's sweet. I don't know how important this is. It's got a lemon on it. It makes me automatically want to get it. I'm just gonna get it. I'm just gonna get it. I can't help myself. It's a lemon. It's a lemon. That's my one weakness. My one weakness. Okay, we'll play low. We'll just do 3. Get our 2 tickets so we can get the lucky guy next time.
Let's go.
Hopefully we can get some... Oh, that was a good one. There we go. Okay. See, I'm glad we got the cat. I'm glad we got the cat. Thanks, Lemons. Thanks, Lemons. Okay. Okay, super. We can just do 3 next time as well. Get our 2 tickets, then grab our 1 trick pony, put it in the drawer, and save that for like a moment when we really need it. Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
Let's go gambling.
Okay, again, lemons are not helping me out, guys. What's going on? Is this PS1 gambling simulator? Close. Close, Gibby. It's Clover Pit. God, we're getting a lot of diamonds. It's just so happening to be what goes on these days. Hey, why didn't my kitty cat trigger? Wasn't that a 7 multiplier? Maybe I missed it. Did the kitty not trigger? I don't remember seeing the kitty trigger. Okay, now we can get the pony. And we can put the pony in the drawer. What's wrong with me? Put it in the drawer. Drawer. What is that? It's like, what is it? How they describe it? It was like buckshot roulette plus something else. I can't remember. But yeah, and there is like a slight mystery going on. You'll see there's always something different in these drawers. Sometimes it's like a brain thing. Sometimes it's Frankenstein. Sometimes it's a key or something. Or no, like a sometimes it's like a contract that's in there. There's this thing over here that's asking me if this is really real over here. And then there's also this crane that sometimes gives me a slight existential crisis depending on where I'm standing. It's very sensitive. Anyway. Toast. Toast is literally sitting in front of Chad. I can't win. Guys, I can't win. And then there's all of these fun things. How do we unlock this? Alright. Alright. And then there's also this bucket of meat in here. So, Toast, you are in front of the camera. That is so bogus. If you mess this up for me, if you make this an impossible world for me. Okay. Get along. Get along. Yeah, no glitch. Just Toast. Ridiculous. Okay. We could go. I do have 1 round left. I'm kind of feeling it. I'm kind of feeling 1 more round. I'm kind of feeling let's go. I'm kind of feeling it. I can't get any game overs yet, so let's just get 1 more ticket.
Gambling.
And let's go gambling and let's have fun. I want to adopt Toast. Okay. I don't know if she would willingly go, honestly. Oh my gosh, those are supposed to be my lucky spins. This is bogus. Oh, this is horrible. Oh, this was useless. Thanks, Clovers. At least I get 1 last lucky at the end. Oh, great, bells. Good for me. Hi, Sinnoh. Yeah, we're not gonna play this. I think this is gonna be our end. Except for, I mean, like, not the end of the stream, but I think we're just gonna call it here because I don't want to do this for the rest of stream. Even though I definitely could do it forever and ever. Okay. Oh, great! I have the other lucky cat now. Maybe we could do like a kitty stream. What are we at? 5? Toast, so help me God. Can you stop? She's being really cute. It's getting on my nerves. When are all the theorists tearing down Vegas? When we're all of age? I feel like there's so many babies. There's like a handful of us that could go. Everybody else, stop. Cut it out. Will you just sit in my lap? Please? Can you just sit in my lap? Can you please? Can you just sit in my lap and take a chill pill? Okay, sorry. It also says don't trust everyone, which is very suspicious, where it's like, it's not, I don't trust anyone. It's just don't trust everyone. It's like there are people you can't trust, but I'm not gonna tell you which ones. All right. Click. Yes. Okay. So that was that. Can you? Why? Why do you insist? Why do you insist upon being a villain? Stranger Things fans? I know of Stranger Things. I wouldn't call myself a fan. I got really over it in season 4. I didn't even bother with season 5. Holy hell, Toast. Just lay down. Just relax. Just relax. Okay. Is there a video on Agony in here? Get up here. Okay. FNAF Agony. Is anybody explaining it? Okay, Sandwich Lee did a video a year ago. Demuted did a video on Remnant versus Agony. But is Quantum Agony gonna be like hard for me to understand? Because I just want like an introductory on like Agony in general. Quantum Agony feels like a step above. You know? Just feels like a step above. We'll try it. We'll try. Just don't get mad at me if I don't understand it. Okay. Oh. Okay, I've got it. It's being weird. Sorry, this is from New Year's. It's so tiny. Why does it look so small? We'll just put, where are the captions going to show up at?
Hey there, fellow Bruce.
Okay. I'll make sure that's there. And then we'll just cut off these edges so we can make the screen bigger. There we go. Somewhere in the middle of your 36-hour video? Oh my god. I do know who Marzilla is. Oh, I don't think there is a secret episode for all that's worth. All right.
I'm Theory Chum. This is Chum. Today in the ocean, we're going to be showing you guys some more about the sciences of FNAF, going to explain how Agony works. I'm also going to be responding to Rytoast, who had responded to one of the emails I had sent him to him. And again, he probably will never know about that. So let's go ahead and dive in and get you fed. We got quite a bit of hungry sharks today, guys, so we need a few extra baits. Look at these guys. They're all out here swimming around. They want some food. Anyways, so our bait today is going to be Fetch, the 1:35 a.m. epilogue, Coming Home, He Told Me Everything, the Prankster epilogue, and a special seasoning of the 4th Closet graphic novel. So the reels we're going to be using for this bait is going to be the sciences of FNAF's zero-point field, the properties of light at a subatomic level, the properties of dark at a subatomic level, as well as Einstein's law of conservation of energy, the concept of wave-particle duality and the observer effect, and finally, Coulomb's law. To start with explaining the what, we need to understand exactly what the what is. For this, we turn to the 1:35 a.m. epilogue.
What the what mentioned? No problem, Sinnoh.
Following yet again Phineas Taggart, where he consistently calls what we're looking at agony. From this, as well as a few other places, I believe the community calls what we're looking at.
Let me read this. Sorry. Hi, Carnage. This is Theory Chum. As I expected, he typed, extreme human emotion appears to impact its surroundings far more powerfully the more negative it is. Agony, I'm convinced, radiates farther from people than any other emotion. Love has its influence, but the experiments being done with water crystals have been misinterpreted. Just because love forms beautiful ice crystals doesn't mean it is the most powerful emotion. Sorry. Yesterday, I mimicked the ice crystal methodology, and by allowing all the hurt and anger I usually keep well in check to burst forth, I watched water manifest a hideous crystal in a matter of seconds. And that is Phineas Taggart from the Fazbear Fright series.
At agony. From this, as well as a few other places, I believe the community has dubbed this entire energy as agony. Now, this is not to be confused with agony, the emotion, which is a contributing factor with this energy. Now, throughout the epilogue, we get told in both narration and happenstance that this energy follows electric properties. The first of these would be the key factor to the epilogue of 1:35 a.m., and that's going to be EDA, or electrodermal activity, or also known as galvanic skin response back in the day. It's the skin's ability to conduct a current of electricity, right? There's a device consistently used in measuring EDA where they put 2 electrodes on the skin, and then they run a small current between those 2 electrodes. How well that current can flow without any resistance is how they test EDA. Now, Taggart uses these and various other machineries while making the stitch rate, and they successfully detect this energy. This would not be possible if the charge was not in a current, because
It says, by the time Phineas returned to his lab, the endoskeleton lit up like a Christmas tree when Phineas tested its energy levels. It was ready. Now he just needed to give it a bit more presence so it could properly express the agony it had soaked in from the other items.
Now, Taggart uses these and various other machineries while making the stitch rate, and they successfully detect this energy. This would not be possible if the charge was not in a current, because the 2 electrodes on the skin has to have a current between them to pick it up. Otherwise, the electrodes would not pick it up. We get reaffirmation from this by Professor Talbert when he says it's like water conducting electricity. We also get direct narration that Taggart felt the electric energy. It's like water conducting electricity. We also get direct narration that Taggart felt the electric energy dance across his fingertips. So let's put that first part of the bait in the water. This energy known as agony follows electric properties. Now that we know this, we want to find out what makes this current. To do that, we need to understand that any current has a positive and a negative polarity. This is because a current is created by the movement of particles. Whenever the particles move and collide, they become molecules, and then those molecules collide again, and they become ions. These ions are what charges the current, whether it's negative or positive. The place we're going to look at is the biggest place of misunderstanding of agony being only a negative emotion. This is where I feel that the community has misconstrued what has been said to us to say that agony, the energy that contains this consciousness, is only negative energy. So we're going right back to Taggart, that decade-long professional in the series. He speaks of this experiment where he confirms that love has a great influence on this energy. But his experiments found that negative emotion creates a more potent charge. This isn't saying that agony is only negative. It's saying that the negative charge is just more powerful.
This is something that Narrow Raven and I and the doctor is in. That's what we were talking about yesterday. As a part of, you know, a much larger discussion about Escape the Pizzaplex and security breach and all of that stuff. I don't really even remember how we got onto it. But I feel like this is like what kind of sparked this kind of desire to sorry. I feel like when I'm speaking it's like really gross sounding. Anyway, I'm going to take my headphones off. It's probably making it worse. But it's kind of what sparked the idea of having this discussion yesterday was even like as people who, well, them way more so than me, I would imagine. As people who are like steeped in this series, it's still hard to come to like a good consensus on like what people believe is agony, what is remnant, what is the difference between the two. It's like the consensus seems to be that agony and remnant are different things, but nobody can really fully explain how. And granted, we aren't given a whole lot of information, sorry, about this stuff, and we certainly aren't given the information in the games. We are given a little bit of information about remnant in the games, like bare minimum information about remnant in the games, and like nothing about agony. I don't think agony is mentioned one time throughout the entirety of all of the games. And remnant is only mentioned really what in remnant is only mentioned in Pizzeria Simulator, and then by extension it's mentioned in Sister Location, like by extension of what we find in Pizzeria Simulator. I can't remember if we see any of those blueprints in Sister Location. I could be mistaken. In this scooping room in Ruin, there's lava, like there's lava in MCM. Yeah, I know. And that's like, that's all, but that's all like, that's all kind of like pushing us in the direction. But yeah, like, and then yeah, FNAF AR has Remnant and Dark Remnant. So that's got its own thing, but AR is really confusing too, because it's very clear that they take some liberties with the stuff, and not everything that's in AR is canon. Like all the skins aren't, and some of the emails were scrapped emails that were never fully released. So it's like really hard to look at FNAF AR, even though funnily enough it is like a game very heavily focused on Remnant. So I don't know, there's so many things that make it clearly like confusing for people, and like this is one of those things, right, where Theory Chum is saying here, where the concept that agony is purely a negative emotion, or that agony, or sorry, that remnant is more is so specifically like negative, isn't true, you know. Gibby's saying, in my opinion, emotions make remnant, but powerful emotions work best. Yeah, agony leaves remnant, but so does love, and Taggart is wrong here because he's the villain. Margie in The Real Jake proves him wrong. Okay, fair enough. Interesting. What do you mean by agony leaves remnant? Like, leaves it behind? I'm just confused. You have a teacher in your school named Mrs. Murray? Oh my gosh. Fiona lives. Okay, interesting. Well, maybe this is like, maybe nothing I can do. Maybe nothing I can do will convince anybody to have like a consensus, but you know, I can try.
And I'll explain this when we get to explaining agony to its subatomic level. We have to know
Remnant is what remains. Agony creates remnant. Okay.
what this energy does consist of. We're being told that both negative and positive emotions influence this energy. And influence, whenever you're speaking in terms of energy, is anything that's going to affect, alter, charge.
Just a guy, it's just like, just a guy, that's just like, I don't know, that's such a simplified term, because it's not just emotion, it's like extreme emotion. Carnish, where does it say that though? Can you guys like, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't talk about this at all. Maybe this is just going to make everything worse for me.
Influence, whenever you're speaking in terms of energy, is anything that's going to affect, alter, charge, anything that's going to change that energy in any way is an influence. And that's what Taggart is telling us here. Both love can charge this emotion, and hatred can charge this emotion. And again, since it's an electrical charge and it has two polarities, we're being told the positive and negative sides of this energy. Now, on this level, we're only at a molecular level. We're only talking about agony as ions, which is after it's collided. I want to take us further than that, because even as Mr. Jacoby says in Fetch, the field exists to a subatomic level. So to be clear, subatomic makes molecular, molecules make ions. They're building blocks.
To figure out what this energy has in its subatomic state, we have to know what this energy does, consists of, or how it follows our understanding of the laws of nature and physics. These building blocks that tell us what something does is what it is are called properties. So what properties does this energy follow? Well, it's my opinion that these properties follow the natural occurrence of
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Carnage, is like, yeah, that's what I'm saying is like I want to use like what we actually have to try to understand it rather than just like working off of theories of what we think is going on. You know what I mean? And that's where I ultimately get frustrated, I guess, is because like everybody has a different idea, or not like literally everybody, but a lot of people have different ideas about what these things are, about what these things are capable of how they're formed, all these things. And my issue is that I tend to get really like confused when I'm trying to I'm trying I'm trying to like use what we're given to make instead. I don't know, it doesn't matter.
light photons and the theoretical occurrence of dark matter photons. And this is revered throughout the whole series, light versus dark, good versus evil. This is it on a scientific level. Before we dive into these, it's important to note that photons contain
Seems like a reach, which is fine, but maybe too in depth. What is tenacious? What? I don't understand. I don't know if people are responding to like people in chat or if people are responding to what's going on in the video or what. All right. Gibby, I made you a moderator if you do happen to still be here just to
a
make you look
neutral
different.
charge on the electromagnetic wavelength. But as we've been told by Taggart and others in FNAF, positive and negative emotion influences this energy. So the ions that created them are giving the charge to the photons because the photons are coming in as the particles that are
I
neutral.
just have to be so honest. This is like so difficult for me to like follow, which is why I don't know if watching it on stream is like really the best way for me to digest it because I'm like, I don't know what you're saying.
Emotional energy comes in, making it positive or negative, and then that charges the ion by the emotion. You have a bad emotion, creates negative energy charges the photon negative, makes the ion negative. To give more insight into what I mean, emotion is energy, and we are actually building up or losing energy based off of the types of emotion we're feeling. Let's look at this water as a photon. It's a neutral, clear energy that is nothing. It's not positive, it's not negative, just perfectly clear. Now, let's say we add some Freddy Fazfliz generic additive to it, right? This is going to be our emotion. You can't really see. Let me get some more on that. I guess we weren't very emotional for that.
We weren't emotional enough.
Pretty much. Put it into the water, and then the water starts changing. And that's the same thing with photons in this. The energy is going to constantly change our water.
Thank you,
The next big
Tyrion,
getting
for
tossed out today
$5 for that negative quantum pun fund.
are the properties of light photons and theoretical dark photons. The easier one here to tackle is going to be light because we can actually interact with light, so we know how light works because of that. So, for instance, we know that light, whenever it's converted off and it's released as heat. We also know that light, well, shines, right? Like it's a bright light. That's what light does. Our eyes absorb it, we see it. That's a pretty solid property of it. So what we can look here is to see how these things happen in the parts of the stories that tell us where this is happening. We can actually look in a lot of places. There's a lot of signs throughout FNAF. I'm going to bring out the ones that are more obvious to those who wouldn't understand, even to a smaller level.
Okay.
The first is going to be the coming home story, where Samantha feels warmth at the release of the positive energy of love with Susie at the end of Coming Home. Also note here, the usage of the word waves. This will be important later. We see this energy heat up as heat in various places, including that he told me everything in the Blackbird episode. Another note for this energy is solar barriers. That's right, we're going there.
These mental shields of light the experimenters are trying to put up in these experiments are based in real science. The mental shields of light the experimenters are trying to put up in these experiments actually exist as solar barriers. They get easily penetrated by electrons, which is a negative charge, whenever they get excited, allowing it to pass through. This is why mental shields aren't fully effective in the books or the experiments. Those who went under it with that Taggart spoke about, they only felt less of.
What? He conducted more. Oh my god. He conducted more experiments in which one group of subjects was given no instructions and another group was instructed to visualize a protective shield or barrier that would protect against interference of another person's mind. The experimenters then attempted to raise all of the subjects' EDA levels by what does EDA stand for? I've already gotten lost. By staring at them and willing the levels to rise. The result was that the group that had shielded themselves showed far fewer physical effects than the unshielded subjects. Interesting.
Effects. They didn't feel no effect. It didn't affect them at all. It affected them to a lesser degree. This is also why Taggart, whenever he tried to put up his mental shield when the Stitch Wraith touched his face, it didn't work because
In one crowded instant, three things happened. Phineas saw the being's battery-packed pulse, bright red. He suddenly sensed danger and attempted to throw up a mental shield. He began to convulse, grabbing his head to attempt to contain the excruciating pain that annihilated his consciousness. Bisarian. Electrodermal activity, the ability of a current to flow across the skin. Okay.
it doesn't completely cancel out whenever you're making it from a human perspective. Another showing of light are going to be the flowers commonly referred to in FNAF. And yet again, we're with Phineas. We're shown that he has a very strong belief in the essence of flowers. He believes that
Oh my god, it's probably
flowers can
playtime for real. Phineas had his flowers. He believed flowers, not water, were the nature's purest vessels for emotion. He was drawn particularly to the passion flower because the passion flower was known to hold a vibration so pure and innocent that its energy could repattern consciousness. I have not read this. I don't want to. So much that I have to do. This is why, I'm like, this is another piece of the puzzle of why won't I just make Remnantplex 2? I'm just because I feel like I have to read all of this and I don't have any motivation to.
mimic
Oops, sorry. Phineas leaned over and inhaled the flower's pungently sweet scent. The flower he learned from an expert in flower energy essences was known to repair the ego. It could literally mend the superego and facilitate enlightenment. Oh, interesting, Gibby. He believed that he was approaching the day when he was so attuned to the flow of his own energy that he could get in resonance with this extraordinary blossom.
the vibrations of emotional energy. Flowers absorb light and convert it through food through a process called photosynthesis. He says that flowers are the pure vessels for emotion. This would line up because plants are absorbing direct sunlight. And unlike people who also feel negative emotion, they're just going to be this positive polarity, just positive ions. That's why he's saying it's a pure vessel. And then really there's just the obvious, where at the end of the
When Reuben found Phineas, he immediately staggered back to his truck. He called the police, who came, investigated, and announced that they suspected some kind of electrical discharge killed Phineas.
epilogue, Taggart gets electrocuted. It's
Okay.
being pretty defined as electrocution here. This positive ion also creates bright lights, as seen in the Blackbird epilogue as well as the Prankster epilogue. It's important to note that the energy being green in this series has significance as well, as green is the wavelength of light that's least absorbed and more often reflected, like a plant with its chlorophyll. This is why we see plants as green, because the green wavelength is being reflected back out. And the reason this energy would be green in FNAF is because whenever it's released, it's absorbed into all of the surfaces, which leaves the only wavelength is that one being reflected back. So the energy that we see in Charlotte or Sister Location with that little piece on Circus Baby, that's positive energy. That's good energy. That's light. Well, that was fairly simple for light, but now we have to look into dark matter.
Man, saying that was simple is crazy to me. I don't know. Assume that I'm stupider than that.
Dark matter is the substance that we believe is ever expanding at the edges of our universe. Dark matter is known to be incredibly cold as it's in space at absolute zero temperatures, and
butterfly.
it's known to have a high gravitational pull. Because of its extremely insignificant mass, it cannot be interacted with on any level. Now, through Einstein's law of conservation of energy, we know that energy, like mass, cannot be created or destroyed, it can only be converted. And through this very belief, we get dark photons, which is a particle just like the real-life photon. We're going to go over this more in wave-particle duality in a moment. And these also exist on a subatomic level, just like Mr. Jacoby said. Now that we know this energy is associated with the cold and high gravitational pulls, we can find these two things fairly easily in Five Nights at Freddy's.
I'm not saying I'm frustrated. I'm just saying I'm lost. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to watch something that was just about agony. I don't know. I'm just gonna feel like a butthead if I don't keep going, honestly. Like, and there's really nothing anybody can say that's gonna make me feel differently about it. And I just like, and then we can like get into like actually just like talking about like agony. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just.
Again, as in Step Closer and as well as in the Prankster epilogue.
Now that we know that this energy is theoretically associated with cold and high gravitational pulls, we can find these two things fairly easily in FNAF, again as in Step Closer as well as the Prankster epilogue. Afton also had a large gravitational pull, as he was shown pulling in pieces of the factory. This energy was also able to interact and distort with light when Taggart shone a blue light on it, when gravity in dark matter is the only pull known strong enough to distort light. Think of a black hole. We don't actually see a black hole. We see the light being distorted around it. Now, to understand this dark matter energy, we look to the zero-point field, which Mr. Jacoby states that this field exists on a subatomic level, and the zero-point field is actually believed to exist in an absolute zero field. Absolute zero is the coldest unit of temperature anything can reach. So, the sea of energy is believed to be infinite because that energy will always return back to the field whenever it's converted and released back out. Now, this isn't the case for dark matter because dark matter has an extremely insignificant mass, so it can't convert, right? So, take these cups, right? The light from my camera is shining onto it, it's grabbing on, then it's being absorbed into this atmosphere. Dark matter can't do that. I believe since dark photons, unlike light photons, have nothing to absorb into in their surroundings, that this is why Taggart is saying the emotion that the negative energy is more potent. Light gets absorbed, dark does not. It's also important to note here that dark matter is associated with two colors. One's going to be blue, but the other one is purple. And it's purple because of its temperature scale and how it's associated with the dark aspect of it all. As well, NASA uses purple imaging, false imaging. It's not actually purple, but they use like a purple image to see it in their computers through space. The first thing we're going to go over is wave-particle duality. This is a very simple concept that says energy is either going to exist in a wave state or a particle state. We actually see this in FNAF. Taggart actually goes in and tells us about this whenever he's talking to Ruben. He makes the stunning difference between taking the energy of emotion and transmuting it, which means to alter or convert into physical energy, right? Now, what he also says in the epilogue, and I'm not an artist, like heads up, is he's saying that as people, we naturally emanate
I can't even see what you're
the
drawing.
emotions out of us, right? And they come off. Remember, by my theory,
Okay.
these are all by photons. So what this wave, it's going to be measured by hertz, which is its frequency. Okay? You can't really see all of it. So now with this hertz, and since it's an energy that has a frequency, it's going to happen again, and again, and again. These combinations of fields is what's called the electromagnetic field. Now, these waves are all going to contain millions upon millions upon millions of particles. Wave-particle duality is pretty much taking those particles out of the wave and into an actual electricity. So we actually get told
like 90 times, this is a total exaggeration, but a really big amount of times in the 1:35 a.m. epilogue, as well as the Prankster epilogue, as well as a lot of other places, that this energy changes
Now
when
she's
it's
trying to steal
conducted.
my bowl.
So, most popularly, wave particle duality
Ciabatta.
is known to be
Ciabatta is her
achieved
name.
by an interference due through a dual slit experiment. So pretty much, light would come in, it would be in a wave, and then from in between the slits, particles would come through, right?
Sure, yeah, I've seen
This
this.
is not what we're being told is happening in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay, throw it away.
What
Forget
causes
it. The one thing I
interference in Five Nights
understood.
at Freddy's is whenever this is conducted up.
I finally understood something, and it was like, this is not it. Completely disregard.
I guess that's not wrong, seeing after you kidnap kids. Is whenever this energy
They're
is
cute,
conducted
but they're
to a
very
conductive
mean
surface.
right now,
To
trying
be
to
clear
eat my
here,
food.
we can tell that this is with the
not your
animatronics and a
food.
lot of other things, because Oswald's dad used to work at a steel mill and into the pit. Steel is automatically galvanized through a process called mill galvanization, which gives it an ionic coating. That ionic coating is what allows it to conduct a charge. Now, let's go ahead and go into Shatter Victim. And to Cuban Fancy or anybody else who has worked on this theory, I am so sorry for my lack of art skills. So we're going to go to FNAF 4.
This is a Freddy.
That is Big Baddie Fred Boy, okay? And then we have,
Is it Golden Freddy? Which one is this?
Crying Child McGee, right?
Okay.
So right now,
McGee?
he is already emanating these waves because he's terrified, he's scared. His
Okay.
emotion is charging the photons inside of him to a negative energy. So from here, Big Baddie, he gets his brother and the bullies. I'm not an artist. Don't blame
Okay,
me.
it's
His
okay.
brother and
You
bullies
just need
put the
to know
little boy in the
people,
mouth,
that's
in
all.
the bear's mouth. Whenever this happens,
He died.
his waves are then released in a big outward conversion because of the tragic moment. He gets big, and upon the moment he's big, the waves emanate and shoot further. We're also told about this energy wafting and lasting long by William Afton in the graphic novels. He says it came out, made everybody feel bad, it was there. So what happened is whenever the crying child got bit, all of the particles in his waves started getting stuck to everything in the surroundings, right? So you got the paper pals, which in the 1980s were made by were pressed by plates who were treated with galvanoplasty. And this would actually put a very slight conductive wax surface onto those old paper plates you used to see.
I
With
can't
those
believe
weird
you're talking
design.
about the makeup
Basically,
of the
the
paper
plates,
plates.
that paper pals are made out of. Wooden veneer also has this conductive surface. It's very, very slight, nothing significant, but it still can conduct, right? It doesn't need to be a huge conduction.
We're watching
it just needs to
Quantum
hold the energy,
Agony.
because the energy itself is what's infinite. So really, you could have a very small conductive surface on a very large item, and that surface is going to conduct against
Hi,
all of it,
Vivi.
such as Toy Freddy in the Toy Animatronic Freddy in the epilogue, not the epilogue, the graphic novel. Now, and since this energy exists in a zero-point field and it lasts forever, the crying child's going to be stuck to all of his surroundings. This includes the animatronics, the paper pals, everything I've already talked about. The particles, it's not his like soul or ghost being fractured. It's the energy of his consciousness, which is a video for another day. It's the energy of his consciousness
Okay. Got it. Correction noted.
being conducted, having its particles taken out and conducted to all these different surfaces. This energy is also based in memory. So we're going to go to the fourth closet graphic novel. This is also going to be part of the video for another day. And then we look, you see memories said over and 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 over, which
Okay.
is telling us like this emotional energy is created in its memory. That's why whenever you look at the FNAF 1 game, you're seeing the paper pals on the walls. You're seeing. Now we're going to go into Coulom's Law a
We're
little
seeing
bit.
what? You cut yourself off.
And this is going to explain how the positive and negative energies work against each other without creating or destroying them. Because remember, energy, by the law of conservation of energy, cannot be created or destroyed.
Got it.
It can only be converted.
Right.
What it can also do is be repelled. And for this, we're going to look at Coulom's Law.
This includes the law of attraction, and the inverse. I will explain this in just a second.
Okay.
So what Coulomb is saying is, in comparison to how powerful one charge is, one ion depends on how it's going to repel or attract the other one. If you have one that's close to negative and close to positive, they'll push away because they're almost each other. If you have one that's super positive and then lowly positive, it's going to slowly attract even though they're the same, because that lower positive is getting closer to being a negative charge. We actually see this in the Cliffs epilogue, I believe. I'll put it on screen if I'm wrong about what epilogue. But Taggart, the Cliffs epilogue, I believe.
Jill, come back. Jake immediately put all his strength into fighting the pull. After just a few seconds, he was able to stop his forward motion. I don't really know the context around this, so this is hard, but like around him, the animatronic parts and trash whizzed past and glommed onto the massive body forming from the garbage. Jake, though, stayed fast, committing himself to remaining separate from the evil entity. And because he was Jake, a boy who tried to help anyone who needed it, he also extended his intention to the other animatronic debris being vacuumed up by the junkyard fiend. He did all he could to save the other parts from falling under the thing's control. So you're surmising that the pull here is an ion thing. Guys, leave my bowl alone. I'll go throw it away in a minute. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. This is too much. I'm trying to learn.
Being a negative charge. We actually see this in the Cliffs epilogue, I believe. I'll put it on screen if I'm wrong about what epilogue here. Larson is going through it. He's trying to escape from Afton. Sorry.
Blackbird.
Larson's actively trying to escape from Afton. And he goes from there and he's like, well, look at this flower up here. It's not affected at all by Afton's pressure. We see at the end of the epilogue where Afton is defeated that Jake acknowledges Afton had no real power. This is saying Afton had no energy. So it doesn't matter how much positive charge this flower had, nothing Afton could do would not be repelled back because he has no charge. So he's negative. So he could be like, say, -1C, -2C maybe. He's a very insignificant charge. But the flowers, as talked about and explained by Taggart, are these pure charges with these pure particles inside it. That is why the flower is unaffected. This is why it keeps Taggart safe with his collection of agony in his protection room. It's because... And with that, we come to the end of the video, where I'll be responding to Raito's responding to my email. Again, he doesn't
Okay. Okay, I'll
know about this. He probably doesn't even know who I am. Probably doesn't even remember my flower email. I'm the first person on this episode here. Hi, I'm Ethan. And he actually does give me some credit. And he's understandably skeptical. Like, this is something that just have dropped on you. You're just like, well, and he said it in the video. It could be a perfect synchronicity. It could happen. I don't believe it is. I had sent in my emails over the flowers withholding light energy, and he was doubtful that Scott intentionally put that stuff in his series. He even hit me with a meme from One Piece, in which, with the details
The flowers repelled the charge. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
I've shown in this video, I have a meme for him too. Well now, it seems the sharks over here have gone all and calmed down. I hope I was able to open your eyes a little bit to help you see part of the sci-fi series that Scott has put in and has told us many times is in front of our faces. Thank you all so much for swimming in the ocean.
I think I learned a little. I don't know how much of that I absorbed. Maybe I'm negative agony and I'm just repelling. I don't absorb. I don't know. Gonna pull up some other agony videos. Thank you for sharing theory. Okay. I'm gonna try this one halfway just because it's the first one of these, and half because it's quick.
Are you tired of people making awful FNAF theories and justifying the theory by saying it's based on Remnant? Are you tired of people saying agony is the reason why you can't count their theory is incorrect? Well, oh boy.
Because you're what? Huh? What? Huh? I didn't even understand what he was saying. Will you people speak up? All right. I'm going to go throw my bowl away because my cats are being truly, genuinely insufferable. And I'm like actually getting frustrated to the point where I'm like, I've got to do something about this or I'm going to have a bad day for the rest of the day. Not really that, but you know, I don't really know how else to quantify how I feel. Okay. One day I'll have a rolly chair. Are you guys done being nuisances? Now that you can't access my bowl? Ridiculous. Okay, I'm back. I don't want to live like this. Negative 60 decibels? What? What? Okay. Okay. Like, I don't know. Let me try to find a way to be comfortable. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. Okay. Okay. It's on normal playback speed. I turn my volume up just a smidge, I guess. Where's the... There she is.
Are you tired of people making awful FNAF theories and justifying the theory by saying it's based on Remnant? Are you tired?
Is this like pointed? Is this pointed at me? I think this is before I made Remnant.
Tired of people saying agony is the reason why you
Plus.
can't count their theory is incorrect? Well, oh
Agony is the reason I can't count their theory as incorrect. Agony and ivory.
boy, do I have the answer for you. Introducing today's video, where we finally put all of this to rest. Oh,
Okay.
hey there. Welcome to my Lab of Wonders. Today in the lab, we are tackling the confusing mess that is soul science within the Five Nights at Freddy's universe.
I wonder
While
if
FNAF
he's
does
gonna
have a
make
large
it
amount
use
of
similar
complex and confusing aspects to it, none seem to beat it more than how
points.
souls work in this
We
franchise.
can use
And
it.
with
We can now use Theory's video as like a comparison to like how other people actually view this. Oh my god, there's so many videos where people are like trying to explain it. I'm so tired.
23 story-driven books and 10 main games, you would think Scott Cawthon has had plenty of opportunities to explain to the fans how souls work, right? Scott, you are writing these with a purpose, correct? Yeah, I didn't think so. But all jokes aside, theorizing within FNAF gets a little tricky when one of the pillars of this franchise is still an unknown variable. With today's video, I hope to change that, because I believe there are clues that Scott has left behind to help us solve the puzzle.
Okay.
So get ready, because I'm sadly reading more FNAF books. For the copy of the Silver Eyes, let's understand what differentiates complex topics like Remnant and Agony from just a plain old soul. Well, a soul
I
is
don't
this
like you using a red circle for agony. I don't like it. I know. I'm sorry, Sandwich. I'm sorry, Sandwich. Are you guys able to see all of this one? You are. Okay.
spirit of a person who has physically died, and with
Wait.
agony from just a plain old soul. Well, a
Oh, okay.
soul is the spirit of a person who has physically died, and within FNAF, after death, souls can move on, presumably to an afterlife, or they can attach themselves or a portion of themselves to something. An example of this attachment would be Charlie's spirit possessing the puppet, or William's spirit remaining in the Spring Bonnie suit. These spirits can remember.
Okay, so this is still like just surmising that these things are happening. We don't have straight answers. Everything is a theory, and I do understand and accept that in some capacity. But like whenever people say this stuff as like a point blank like statement, it's like, I mean, I guess you could make the argument for Afton. But like, are we sure that it's Charlie's soul? Like, are we sure that it's not her agony? Like, I'll go along with it.
aspects of their lives and have a sense of who they are. For
Okay,
example,
fair enough. It's not like he's not just saying it he's not, it's okay.
on a suit. These spirits can remember aspects of their lives and have a sense of who they are.
Okay,
For example,
okay,
in Pizzeria
okay.
Simulator,
I'll-
when
I'll-
Afton
I'll
approaches
take
a
it.
vent from the side, he will start to speak to the player.
Fascinating. What they have become.
William Afton's spirit is in that suit, and he remembers that he made the fun times, which is why he's fascinated by what they have become. Heck, you can still even hear a bit of his ego in his lines.
What a deceptive calling. I knew it was a lie the moment I heard it, obviously. But it is intriguing nonetheless.
And if you ever want to force a soul to move on, you can just burn whatever they are attached to try and force them along. So within FNAF, spirits are pretty straightforward and easy to understand. However, things get a little more tricky when you have a spirit that doesn't want to move on. The best example of a spirit not wanting to move on would be Cassidy. And in case you don't know, Cassidy is a child who was murdered by
Okay, see, like, yeah, okay, we're taking some steps to say that these things are legitimately true and not, or that, I guess we will just, on behalf of Sandwichly, say this is Sandwichly's interpretation, and there is no actual proof that Cassidy is the vengeful spirit. I hate that for a number of reasons, but I think we can all agree that that is not the consensus among the FNAF fandom at this point in time. Maybe at one point in time, certainly I would say at one point in time, it was fairly agreed upon that Cassidy is the vengeful spirit. But since then, other ideas have entered the ring, such as it being Michael, which I personally disagree with, Crying Child, which I would be less likely to disagree with, or of course, yeah, Cassidy, which was my interpretation for most of the time that I followed the series.
Afton and possesses the Golden Freddy suit. Within Ultimate Custom Night, she is called the one you should not have killed, and it's made—
Oh, and also people have said something else for the one you should not have killed, David or something. I don't know. I feel like there's another strong contender that people have like supposed.
very clear that Afton did something specific to her that has made her extremely vengeful. This vengeance has survived the test of time, because in FNAF 3 and Pizzeria Simulator, when Henry and Michael try to burn down the last remnant of Fazbear Entertainment, Cassidy refuses to give up her quest to make Afton suffer. That rage and anger lead Cassidy to trap William Afton's soul in an endless purgatory, which we play through in Ultimate Custom Night. Now this game has a lot of animatronics that are trying to kill you, and some of them have really cool voice lines like, or you can press the subscribe button, that works too. But within these death lines, the ones spoken by the mediocre melodies seem to be—
I just think that like if we're talking about souls right now, then we're not talking about Remnant, right? Like, so I'm just kind of pseudo disregarding that until we start explaining what Remnant is, as far as Sandwichly's opinion is concerned.
Cassidy speaking directly to William Afton, and some of these are really interesting. Listen here to Ned Bears.
This is how it feels, and you get to experience it over and over and over again, forever. I will never let you leave.
But for the sake of this video, this voice line from Orville Elephant has to be the most important.
He tried to release you.
He tried to release us.
That voice line clearly shows that Cassidy not only remembers who Afton is, but she was fully aware of everything that Henry and Michael were trying to do. So spirits within Five Nights at Freddy's are powerful, which is actually something I bet William wishes he knew before he started his murder spree. But what happens when there isn't a full spirit? Or perhaps it's just the positive and negative emotions from spirits? That, my amazing viewer, is where we dive into the world of Remnant and Agony. The first time the FNAF community was introduced to Remnant was in Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator within some secret blueprints. These blueprints revealed that the scooper from Sister Location didn't just scoop things out, but would also inject a Remnant. This is important because it explains how Michael survived being scooped. He now had this supernatural sauce in him which prevented him from dying. And if you look down at section D labeled Remnant Reservoir, we learn that in order to store or preserve Remnant, it needs to be put in a heated tank at a consistent temperature. However, none of this answers the question question of what is Remnant itself. And to give you the best answer, I read all of the Fazbear Frights in the original trilogy to figure this out, and what I came up with is that Remnant, it's just a byproduct of the soul. You see, when a spirit possesses an animatronic,
Oh my gosh,
the whole
what?
spirit is controlling that animatronic. But if someone was to take that animatronic and heat it, you can now extract the substance called Remnant from the metal. Listen to Dr. Talbert from the Fazbear Frights describe it. In non-scientific terms, it's like the metal is haunted. It's more complicated than that, of course, but it's similar to the way water conducts electricity. Remnant is the missing of the tangible.
Is there like a water sound effect? I keep like thinking I hear something. Okay, I'm gonna start back at the beginning of this.
Frights describe it. In non-scientific terms, it's like the metal is haunted. It's more complicated than that, of course, but it's similar to the way water conducts electricity. Remnant is the missing of the tangible with the intangible, of memory with the present. The people and things that are lost, it makes them almost real again. Notice that line. It's like the metal is haunted, and that's the basis of Remnant. Remnant is the portion of the spirit that you extract. It's not as powerful as the spirit, but it has a ton of uses. An example is how William used Remnant on the Funtime animatronics. By injecting Remnant, he turned lifeless and boring animatronics into futuristic and intelligent creatures. And if you're curious how I know the Funtimes have Remnant, look at Henry's notes on Molten Freddy. Henry points out that it's the combination of Ballora, Funtime Foxy, and Funtime Freddy, and notes that it has the most amount of Remnant collectively in its structure. However, there's an important side effect to extracting Remnant, and it's the reason why the good ending of Five Nights at Freddy's 3 isn't the end of Five Nights at Freddy's. Take a look at this pie. It's whole and missing nothing. Now, let's say I take a slice out of the pie and set it aside. If you were to eat the larger portion of the pie, you technically don't eat the whole pie because a portion of it is left. Now imagine instead of a pie, it's a spirit. By extracting Remnant, you are taking a portion of the spirit and setting it aside. So when someone like a Michael comes along and tries to burn everything, it doesn't work. Since William used a Remnant from the original animatronics, Michael only destroyed the larger portion of the spirit and didn't destroy the smaller part in the Funtimes. And to make things more interesting, a spirit can be aware and feel when—
But how not? What? Okay.
a part of it is extracted. In the fourth closet, while Afton is using Remnant from the original animatronics, evil robot Charlie, just trust me, it's better if I don't explain,
Bye, Sarah.
remarks that the spirits are in pain, and Afton confirms her suspicions. They can feel it. But let's say you wanted to inject Remnant into a human. Well, this has actually happened twice within the FNAF universe. The first and most popular example is Michael Afton. If you finish Sister Location and get the main ending, Michael gets scooped and his insides replaced with Ennard. Not much longer, his body begins to fall apart and Ennard hits the eject button. But to everyone's surprise, Michael's story doesn't end there. Due to the Remnant injected into him, his spirit was able to possess his own corpse. I mean, look at the blueprints. The injector leaves a trace line of Remnant inside what it scoops. This may seem a little wild, but one could theorize that the Remnant injected in Michael could have been from the MCI children. Maybe Michael from then on had his own memories mixed with those of the children, and that's what makes him so passionate about making up for his father's mistakes. However,
Whoa.
that's a theory for another day. The next
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
person to be injected with Remnant is Carlton, a character from the Silver Eyes trilogy. When Carlton is injected with Remnant,
I hadn't thought of the idea that like the thing that makes Michael so specifically or uniquely in tune with the spirits is the idea of being injected. Though that would mean that all of that would have had to have happened before any of the other games, right? Because like he's already feeling that vibe in the other games. Assuming that you believe Michael is the protagonist of the other games.
it's by William Afton, who was testing the side effects on him
Hi,
because that's
Burb.
just what Afton does. The William Afton in the fourth closet is really just a mad scientist and is trying to recreate Henry's work. So what happens to Carlton? First and foremost, he passes out. But when he wakes up, he finds himself in a room with the spirits of their murdered children. Carlton is able to communicate with the children, but, you know, they're kids. They're children. They don't really care what Carlton says. So Carlton, just like Abby in the FNAF movie, uses a crayon and paper to tell the spirits what really happened. He reminds them that it was Afton who murdered them, and when the spirits find this out, they grab Afton and launch themselves into a furnace, ending it all. So now that we've thoroughly talked about Remnant, let's talk about its angry cousin, Agony. Now, Agony primarily appears in the Fazbear Frights book series, and there haven't been any confirmed appearances of it in the games. But that's never stopped fans from speculating about possible appearances, like in Henry's speech.
This place will not.
I don't know, Seeker. This is just a video about Remnant and Agony. It's not really about Michael or Carlton, like, prop in that sense. They're just saying how Carlton is able to communicate with the spirits.
Be remembered, and the memory of of everything that started this can
Okay, I
find
think that they're making the connection between the fact that like Carlton and Michael have both been exposed to Remnant, and that's like what allows them to communicate with the children. I'm having a hard time following, but I think that's just my comprehension skills getting in the way. I don't think it's people's fault.
begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should.
And the blob from Security Breach. So, what is agony? Agony is a powerful emotion that results from intense mental or physical suffering. And within the FNAF universe, agony can latch onto items. Listen to Dr. Phineas Taggart, a man from the Fazbear Frights who actually collected agony-infested items, explain it. These items on Phineas's shelves weren't possessed by ghosts. The ones that were truly haunted were energized by agony. So, agony and Remnant aren't that similar at all. Remnant gets its power from the spirit, while agony is just a powerful emotion. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sandwichly, seriously, a powerful emotion? That's really what this is? Trust me, I thought the exact same way until I met the main villain of the Fazbear Frights, Eleanor. When it comes to Eleanor, nothing is really known about her origins. Eleanor is introduced in the story to be beautiful, where she
What is up with these captions? Why would they ever spell Eleanor like that? There's only one way to spell Eleanor. It shouldn't even have the, like, capacity to spell it that way. It even understands it's a name.
tricks a girl into wearing a pendant that operates as an illusion disc and replaces this poor girl's limbs with actual garbage. She then appears later in the Stitch Rate Epilogues trying to steal Remnant from Dr. Talbot so she can become immortal. In her final battle to steal the Remnant, Eleanor reveals what she truly is. Quote, "He could see her, but he could see into her too, and what he saw was a black, chaotic force that fed on human suffering. Eleanor is the ultimate boss of agony, a fully sentient creature that has to inflict extreme pain on others in order to thrive." Now, I mentioned the blob from Security Breach earlier, and it's for a specific reason. Within the final Stitch Wraith epilogue, Eleanor seems to gain a new ability. Quote, "Eleanor opened her mouth impossibly wide. Gooey black tendrils shot from it, slithered across the floor, then twisted around Larson, binding him. The tendrils were sticky and smelled like copper. Blood, thought Larson. They're made of blood." Now, as a FNAF theorist, when I hear of gooey tendrils slithering around and binding an individual, I can't help but see some comparisons to the blob. Even Glamrock Freddy describes the blob as his friends who are angry and confused. Now, does this mini theory have holes? Sadly, yes. When Gregory first encounters the blob, he doesn't make any comment about the smell, which seems to be an important detail in the books. Also, even if I am right that the blob is made up of agony, there's no clear answer as to where the agony is from. As I mentioned, agony is a powerful human emotion, and with no humans besides Burntrap and
You do know an Eleanor spelled that way? That's crazy. Not really something I would have imagined. I mean, look, here's the deal. I know you can, like, spell your kid's name however you want. Like, you can say your kid's name is Sam and spell it Xzei and just tell people it's pronounced Sam. Like, get over it. You know, like, you can do whatever you want. We have free will or whatever. But, like, I don't know why the captions would pick that one.
As I mentioned, agony is a powerful human emotion, and with no humans besides Burntrap in this lower level, we have no concrete ties as to where it came from. So, we'll have to keep our eyes open for any agony references in the future. Yay! You did it! You survived this soul...
I don't think this helped. Yeah, exactly. Gibby, exactly. Tell that Eleanor to fix their name for real. Oh my god. Okay, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This whole thing is like exactly what I'm talking about. And call it a me problem, I don't care. But it's like, this is, I don't get it. It's confusing to me. It's confusing to me that I guess Sandwich just like go on to kind of clarify that you can pull the soul portion out of Remnant and not lose the Remnant itself. It's just maybe not as powerful. But I don't know. I wish he'd read the definition of agony that they give in Fazbear Frights. Sorry. Because what I stick on so much is just, you can take a saturation of agony, add any kind of intelligence, even an artificial one, and they will combine together to transmute the energy of emotion into the energy of physical action. States of soul. True, true. I do think it all works similar to the Stephen King universe in a sense. Mostly Secret of the Mimic putting me on that train with the Shining imagery. Yeah. Hold on. Let me go back to looking at Remnant. Okay, sorry. I don't know. I just think if Remnant does require a soul, if Remnant does require souls, it just means that FNAF, the Pizzaplex would need to have like a pretty significant, I would feel, body count for Remnantplex to work. And I feel like they don't have, I mean, I guess you could call the all staff meeting. Maybe that could be like a, maybe that could have been like their Hail Mary or something. This is backwards. This is not flipped correctly. There, now you can read my hat. It could be the all staff meeting, or the Tangle is somehow powering the Pizzaplex. I refuse to say blob. I gotta get out. We gotta settle. Emotions are souls, and that's why Remnant is the way that it is, because it's like emotions as a liquid, or at least I think that's what they said. I know, Theory. I know. No, it's okay, Clavis. It's okay. Other people can say blob all they want, but it drives me crazy. And that's a me thing. I just, mostly just because we were given an official name in the book, like in the character encyclopedia. I'm like, if they're calling it the Tangle, then that's what it is. And if we're calling it the blob out of sheer stubbornness, then I will be calling it the Tangle out of sheer stubbornness. Hey, Withered. I always stream on Wednesdays, except for when I don't. Okay, so like, so we do have instances. Maybe, okay, Remnant needs a soul to be formed initially, but not to continue or whatever. I don't know. Like, you could could one say that mayhap you need a soul to form Remnant base level, but you could then apply heavy emotions to existing Remnant to charge it, to keep it charged. I understand, but I'm just going based off of like, I'm trying to go based off of like what people are currently like, or people have said or would say or whatever, not like trying to define what a soul is. Because I don't think we're going to come to a consensus on defining what a soul is. Okay, well, I tried. I thought I was posing a genuine question. Hey, it even says here. I mean, okay, look, I'm just reading the wiki, so take it with a grain of salt. But it does say Remnant can be used to make already living beings more powerful through the power of memories and emotions. So there's that. I know, but like if we all just sit here and say what I think a soul is, it's not productive. You know what I'm trying to say? Like there are going to be people who are like, no, it's like this person, like it's like them before they get to go to the afterlife. It's like their full essence. Like I understand that people are made up of memories at the end of the day. Like I get it. 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 But like I don't know that if I'm trying to pose something in a video that like me just saying like, oh yeah, soul's not really like the person, it's just this like it's just their memories and their feelings, when it's like, okay, yeah, but that is like, I mean, like what else is a person if you take away the body? Okay, Seeker, I'm sorry, can you I don't see where that's being said in the games. What did Dave Miller say about Freddy's haunting? I don't know. Like here's the thing, Seeker, is like I'm just saying, like we just watched a video where somebody said like very much not what you're saying, you know, like we just watched a video where somebody's saying that like, oh, soul is this very specific thing and emotions and memories are another, like, so like this isn't a consensus. Sorry. She just keeps hitting everything. Like just stay still. Dave Miller. FNAF haunting? Don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we'll find any. Yeah, part of the problem is FNAF Universe does not clearly define its terms. It's either baked into sci-fi tropes it assumes you understand or exists entirely in the abstract. Yeah. Well, I know in the Fourth Closet that they talk about the idea that, well, at least very least Charlie says, like, I don't believe in hauntings, I don't believe in souls or whatever, but they do believe in the memories of a person sticking around, you know? So I'm just saying that, like, even from within the FNAF text, there are people in the FNAF text who I'm not going to say are experts or anything. I'm like, Charlie's just a robot, whatever. But like, she doesn't even, like, in her thing, she's talking about like, it's not that I believe that souls stay behind. I believe that memories can haunt a place. So she is making the distinction within the text between souls and, you know, memories. The soul becomes remnant, which is a tangible form. Right. Hi, Jax. But okay, so we're still okay. Wasting. If that's like really where you're coming from, then what I said before is still where I'm going. Where I'm saying like, okay, the remnant must have a soul, however you define that. Okay, like I'm not telling you what the definition of a soul is. I'm saying, would it be fair to say, if you were trying to say something that was more of a catch-all, that was a more universally accepted understanding of this, would you feel it is fair to say that remnant needs a soul, however you define that, in order to be created, but then it may be quote unquote charged with other emotions that do not have to be a soul? Like you could supercharge remnant. Like I'm making like, I don't know that that's like, that's not maybe the best word, but like you could say like, okay, this remnant is here and I can make it more powerful, just like remnant can make things more powerful. There are no real hauntings, Carnish. It's also difficult because sometimes explanations we get about Remnant are said by characters in universe that have their own opinions on Remnant, but we don't know if they're correct. Yeah. I think it's got an aura, a mystical energy, maybe, if you believe in that sort of thing. Yeah. But that's when I, like, okay, sorry. So before, when I posed that question, everybody just kind of went on their own tangents or talked to each other and saying hi and stuff and were not responding to me. And I'm like, okay, so is what I'm saying false? And then we went on this whole diatribe about, like, what is a soul? And I'm saying we can't define what a soul is. How could anybody define what a soul is? Even if you're saying that a soul is just memories and stuff like that, it's like other people would say, no, it's like actually a ghost kind of thing. And it's hard to go ahead and tell somebody like, no, it isn't, when they don't know. Like, we don't know. So like, we ought not speak as if we know. So like, I think using terms like soul and being able to say like, look, if you think that that means that it's like the full identity of that person, or if you think it is a collections of emotion and energy that give you the imprint of this person, but it is not them, which like is more along the lines of where I'm going to fall anyway. Like, I'm always in Five Nights at Freddy's going to fall on the sword of these are imprints of things. Saying I feel like a character who believes agony is real but not ghosts is in line with the whole thing of souls not being a proper thing but instead just being memories and emotions. Like, he's saying no ghosts because it's just someone's emotions and memories. Okay. The word of God. What? Yeah. I just okay. I don't know. I know the term word of God in the sense that like it's the word of God. Like, what I'm sorry, Seeker. Like, are we having like a beef today? Like, it's chill that I don't know. Like, if it's something I don't know, then I don't know. How can I know something no one ever told me and that I never had a reason to look up? Like, in my word of authority in a book or series, like a narrator. Okay. I've never heard it used like that. Never. I've only heard it in reference. I mean, it's the capitalization, I believe, of the word and God that is getting me. Like, you're using those as like proper nouns, which, like, you know, would suggest you're talking about the Bible and, you know, God as in the Christian deity. Interesting. Wouldn't that be like Scott Cawthon then? Okay. Okay, so okay. 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 I don't know if Scott would take offense to that. Oh, Jax. Oh, this is complicated. This is getting like more complicated. The doors in Secret of the Mimic and to turn the doors in FNAF 1 are powered by Remnant and go down insanely fast, but eventually recharge fairly quickly, right? I don't know. Okay. Oh god. Remnant in FNAF AR is insanity. Green Remnant, blue Remnant, purple Remnant, red Remnant, gold Remnant, rainbow Remnant. Yeah, wasted. My whole thing is that if the remnant must be created by killing, like, do you okay, this is where my stick up is, or my hang up is. Saying soul, using the word soul specifically to talk about a person's emotions and memories, while not incorrect, does suggest that the person is dead. Would you agree with this? I am saying that Remnantplex works off of the idea that dude, they are not just killing people to obtain this. So we have to be careful to say, like, okay, if a soul is involved in the creation of Remnant, then a dead person must be involved in the creation of Remnant. And I'm saying that is not the case. Like, Remnantplex is me supposing that that is not the case. So, like, that's where my hang up is. Is, like, the difference between we collect Remnant purely by killing people, or you can collect Remnant by killing people, and mayhaps that is much more potent Remnant, but that it may also be collected purely from a person's emotions and memories while they are still alive, a la Under Construction, a la the Dream Sphere, a la all of these things that do ultimately torture, but do not or create positive or heavily positive, or because Under Construction is about, sorry. Okay, Seeker, thank you. Okay, that I feel like I'm like, okay, this makes so much more sense to me now. Yes, Clavis. Yes. I would agree. Okay. That is my thing. Okay. So okay. This is okay. Everything's falling into place now. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I was just like, there's a problem here. Because my whole thought process around Remnantplex is like, it wouldn't be possible if oh, you are so cute. I love you so much. You're so cute. You're so adorable. She's just flip-flopping over here. Just flip-flopping all over the place. It's killing me. Okay, sorry. I was having like an attack. CC made Agony in his coma before he even died. That's why we got his memories in minigame. Yeah. So, okay. I think that this is, okay, I think it's all coming together for me. Like, so would we say that Remnant is, like, okay, if we are specifically talking about the creation of Remnant, do we think that Remnant needs to be built off of something as powerful as like dead people whose memories and emotions, aka their soul, however specific all of that stuff you want it to be, like, would that be a necessity for Remnantplex, or would it be, I don't know anymore. I don't know how to phrase myself, but like, yeah, kind of similar. Wasted Ink. There's possible there's a batch of murder made Remnant, but it's not have to exist really. Yeah. So I think potentially like you have this like initial piece. Yeah, wasted. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. Like it doesn't have to be under construction. We don't know. Like we don't know what would have existed in the Pizzaplex that would have mirrored this, right? Because like we're saying Tales games is not canon. But the point of the VR machine in under construction is to give you your perfect birthday party. Like it's supposed to be your perfect birthday party. Or at least for her it is. I don't know. I can't remember what the actual name of the attraction is off the top of my head. So, okay, thank you, Jax. Fair enough, yeah. Um so in my opinion, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like literally giving her her happiest day. Like that's the whole vibe of that attraction, at least so far as how she's using it. I can't remember her name right now. But like it goes wrong, right? She's in it too long and it goes wrong. That's the whole idea. Is you're supposed to only like you're really only supposed to have your little experience and then the headband gets taken off or whatever. But for her, she thought she took the headband off. She believed she was out of the simulation, but she was still in it. And I don't know that that's a feature or a bug. You know what I mean? Like it was under construction. It's supposed to be closed. She was not supposed to be in there. So theoretically, they didn't want kids going in there and getting their brains fried. But mayhaps they were also like tempting the fate to say like, oh, maybe some like kid will pop their head in here. They will get too curious. And then we'll be able to say, well, it was their fault because it was under construction and they weren't supposed to do that. Does that make sense? Like, I can almost see a world where Fazbear Entertainment would set up these situations, traps for children to fall into, traps for employees to fall into, these kinds of things where they could say, like, well, it wasn't us, you know? Wouldn't be surprised if Afton knew about Remnant before his murders, but the only way he could figure out how to produce it was through death. Interesting. That wouldn't make me hate you, Tarian. But yeah, Wasted Ink. Pizzaplex is still powered by bad emotion. Yeah. Yeah, theory. But it's like, it's really hard for me to go off of like, it's like, okay, I can go off of agony rules to an extent. People just have to like kind of live in the world where agony exists in the game world. I think it has to, personally. All the attractions in Tales do seem weirdly dangerous. Yeah, it's like, oh, you better follow all these rules to the letter or else, you know? And then you can say like, well, they didn't follow the rules to the letter, so. But that, I would say, is like, that is what I'm finding to be the prevailing narrative on what online is the difference between Remnant and Agony is that a lot of things seem to suggest that Agony can be made purely through emotions, but Remnant does require these sort of haunted quality to it. The nightmare experience could have begun before any murders, and that's how William collected agony at first, but then he realized killing kids also works. That's not a bad one. Agonyplex. Well, and that would change things, you know what I mean? The way agony would work in the books is the same as the games because they're in the same canon. Fazbear Frights was to give us a blueprint for how emotional energy and Remnant works. Well, I'm not against your explanation there, but they don't ever say agony in the games. Like, we don't have any evidence of someone in the games experimenting with agony. It does go well with Elizabeth dying first. It does. It's such an odd thing. All of this is so odd. Yeah. I mean, theory, I'm not against what you're saying. I'm really not. I'm really not. I'm thinking about the way that Oh my god, Carnish. I would actually lose my mind. I mean, technically, oh yeah. They've already gone through the AI thing, which I'm just like, great. I'm sorry. I'm trying so hard to like my problem is trying to explain it in a way that like you could watch the theory and say like, "Oh, Fazbear Entertainment is killing these people and that's what's running the Pizzaplex and here's how they're doing that." Or you could be able to say like, "Okay, they're not necessarily just killing people for this. They're doing multiple things. There are multiple experiments." And that's why I've really considered doing a video. Outlook, I'm not doing anything. Frankly, like I'm struggling to keep my channel alive at this point. I don't know. But I've considered doing like a full video breaking down the entire movie of Brazil because that movie is about the concept of extracting memories from people's minds. Extracting information from people's minds. And sorry, I didn't mean to hit that thing. I think that might be a good precursor to the rest of this because it's like I really do see this idea of them, maybe just temporarily removing people from society in a way, extracting memories from them and then throwing them back out. Now, I also think all staff meeting could have been a really good way for them to get all the way sorry, for them to get like a lot of really powerful remnant like all at once, and then that would presumably power out like all the staff bots, and then they wouldn't have to pay people anymore. It would just be another cost saving mechanism. Especially, you know what I just realized? I don't think I said this in my other remnant video, but like if there aren't mechanics on hand, then everything being infused with a remnant that would have healing restorative properties would negate the necessity for such a thing. Burp, that's hilarious. So that's another possibility, I suppose. Or another piece of evidence, not possibility. I don't know. I want to make sure in the video that I'm giving, like, you can look at the situation this way or you can look at the situation this way. Like, do you believe that souls are like true spirits haunting whatever, like more than just memories and such? Or do you believe, oh my gosh, my stream is like dropping for some reason. Okay, it came back. It's just about what do you believe, I suppose. Maybe agony / remnant can be recycled, and that's what Edwin's recycling was meant to be. Well, I guess it just depends on what you mean. The story about the city powered by the suffering of one child? What? I don't know. Remnant is the activator and agony is the glue. Once you use the activator, you don't need anymore. That's like that's like not a bad that's not a bad way to look at it. But yeah, that's kind of my thought process is like, okay, they do have to kill people to get the like real powerful stuff, but it can keep going by being a byproduct of it can keep going by collecting more. Like the way that the Tangle adds things to itself, presumably. This would be how like the remnant continues. And Theory was talking about this, right? Am I wrong? Like in the video when you were telling me like, oh, it's an infinite source of power because of that. But I didn't really understand what you were, I was confused. Just, that's a me problem, but I was confused. Found it? What is it? But yeah, I've thought about doing that rabbit behind you looks like she's saying, what is she talking about? She do be like that. Hold on, sorry. She do be like that. She's sassy. She's my sassy rabbit. But yeah, so I just want to be able to present it in a way that works. It's infinite because dark matter burns back into itself because it cannot convert. Okay. I don't watch Futurama. I'm not a big fan of like almost no adult cartoon interests me. Like I'm not interested in Family Guy, I'm not interested in American Dad, Futurama, South Park. What's another example? Rick and Morty, I wasn't even like super into. Yeah. If Remnant powers human life, then it would support it being unlimited. Because humans don't load up on Remnant either. What? I'm having a problem with that one. I think that Remnant is a substance or power cell, kind of, and the emotion is more like a programming, and the negative feelings are more fast acting than love. Interesting. Oh, Jax, interesting. What was this? The ones who walk away from Omelis? Interesting. Okay, let me close some of this other stuff out. I don't need it. Okay. 1973 short story by Ursula K. Le Guin explores a utopian society whose happiness depends on the perpetual misery of a single child, forcing its citizens to confront a moral dilemma, accept the injustice for the greater good, or reject it by walking away their destination unknown. That's an interesting one. Here's a PDF of it. Okay, so I would say it would be really interesting. I will read this. How long is short story? Not very long at all. So I could read this and see like if there this would be interesting to see if FNAF and anywhere in any capacity has given us a hint to this. You know what I mean? Because it would be hard to say like, oh, there's this analogous child in this story that's like David. Without some kind of in-game or in-book sort of nod to it. But it is a good, at the very least, it seems like an interesting like thought, like a path for your thoughts. Hold on, wait. Let me go back. Wasted ink. Let me go back. I missed something. Okay, living humans don't have to recharge on life force, meaning their life force is constantly powering them. This force is remnant, so it doesn't run out. I'm so sorry. Hang on. Let me finish reading what everybody else said. Okay. If you want to power big machines, you need lots of remnant, but I don't need to constantly restock on fresh remnant. It just needs to recharge. Like we sleep and it recharges. I'm struggling. Bye, Caddy. I think that Taggart almost certainly explained love versus agony and its use in 1:35 a.m. Stinger, where he talks about how it takes more intentionality to focus the love, but agony makes something big fast. Yes, just BKZ, yes. Which may be another reason for Edwin's terrible work hours. He only has so much remnant and it would be a lot I would be a loss to work any less. What? The story has always stuck with me. Okay, okay, theory. No, it's okay. It's okay, Burb. I'm just like, no, I just don't think I understand it, and I'm sorry. I don't think that it's y'all. I think it's me. Okay. I'm gonna see what other people left in the chat over here, or sorry, in the, I'm gonna lose my mind. In the Discord. The 1:35 a.m. stinger about Taggart. Okay, Phineas Phineas agreed with his mom, which is why his life's work, not the pointless pharmaceutical work he did at his job, but his true calling was the study of the paranormal, the study of energy and its effects on all matter, animate and supposedly inanimate. It's kind of like the Ruin, Pizzaplex, Faz Wrench puzzles. What? I'm gonna assume you guys are just chatting about what is the heart. Okay. Agony is all, yeah. Okay. No, it's okay. I'm sorry. I don't even know that it's you guys are being confusing it. It just may very well be that I'm not grasping whatever the like central concept is, and so I'm just struggling to catch up. Chica was crying while she was chasing Gregory? I don't remember that. I mean, I believe you. I don't really have a reason to disagree. I just like, I don't want to need to be overtly scientific in my video because on one hand, I just will not be able to speak confidently from a scientific point of view. But secondly, like, I don't want, like, let's assume Scott does have like this level of like scientific thought about it. Let's assume Scott has put that much thought into it and has done all the research on all these things. I mean, there's enough there for it to be in Fazbear Fright, so like there's enough there for that. Like, if we assume that, I still would think that he wouldn't expect us to have all of that in order to solve it. I just maybe he would, but like, sorry. I just want to try to present the information in a way that, one, I can speak confidently on, and two, that like people would be able to listen to and understand. Like I as much as I want to believe that more people like that I'm in the vast minority. Like, most people would be able to understand Theory Chum's video like off the bat, like off the rap. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know, that's entirely possible. But from my perspective, like, it's not immediately obvious to me, and watching the video does give me something, but it's very hard for me to latch on to. I would like to present the information in a way that is like, in some way, like, easier to latch on to. Like, even if it's like, so it's like, I don't want to go in and be like, well, this is how ions work and things like that, because like, I can't speak confidently about that. I may mess it up. And then, say something that's like not true or not thorough or something. So it's like, it would just be nice if there was a way to present the it just would be nicer if there was like a way to present the information to people that would be accessible enough that you could just hear it and go like, okay, that makes sense to me. Like, yes, there's a lot more complicated science going on here, you know, depending on how deep you go. Does Scott think or do the fans think for him? I don't know. And, like, I accept that it could be more complicated than that, or it very likely is more complicated than that, especially after going into, like, other of Scott's games and realizing that, like, sorry. Scott seems incapable of creating a story that's not deeply complicated. Like, it just seems like that's just kind of the vibes for him. Like, based off of everything that I've looked into, it seems that he's just the kind of person who does that a lot. And so he very likely has been just as convoluted with FNAF stuff. And in a way, perhaps that is like a good thing, because it means that he would be able to keep it secret, you know, keep it secret, keep it safe. Because even if he did start to explain it to somebody, they'd be like, well, I don't know what the heck you just said. So it wouldn't, I'm so sorry. I wouldn't be surprised if it is as convoluted as we're like sitting here and like, it's like, oh, well, you know, Scott also said like sometimes a story is just a story and you shouldn't overthink it and things like that. So I'm like, okay, there must be some sort of simplified way to go about such a thing. And there has to be a simpler way to speak on these phenomenons. Yeah, Snake, kinda. I'm just more talking about Remnant and Agony in general and how it relates potentially. Because whenever you talk to people about like Agony and Remnant, like people have everybody has like some kind of, either they just go like, whatever, those things are just over here and I just don't care about them, or they have some kind of like working knowledge of it. But it seems fairly inconsistent. So I would like to, and even when I'm talking about it in my first Remnantplex video, I don't know that I'm like, it's like I'm trying to bridge the gap or whatever between like being overly complicated in a way that is just not going to resonate with people, or being overly simplified in a way that doesn't actually like give enough credence to what I'm saying, or also could be in conflict with what somebody's personal understanding of Remnant and or Agony are. So, seem to do similar things. Agony seems to be more of a new consciousness in its own right, versus Remnant, which is an existing consciousness. But see that, okay, well, you even saying that is complicated for me because, sorry, because the Stitch Wraith is Andrew and Jake. And Andrew and Jake are both very aware of themselves, who they are, where they are, etc. Yeah. I don't know, because like Charlie can be programmed with her memories though. Wow, 10 months. Thanks, Burb. That's awesome. Hi, Pablo. It seems there are simply like, okay, sorry. They are themselves and not animals, unlike what Charlie says the others are. Stitch Wraith has both their Remnant, if I recall, but Andrew also has his own Agony bits that break off and act semi-independently. Okay, Snake, thank you for clarifying. That's helpful. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, yeah. Okay. So Remnant is more aware and Agony is less aware. Would that be a fair statement? Ah, Jax, thank you. Let's go 8 months. Okay. Okay, I think that's valid. These are just things that I want to keep in my head, you know? I really think we have like 4 or 5 different things we see in different places of FNAF media. Tulpa like things, pure AI, pure ghosts, and then Tulpa AI mixes and Tulpa ghost mixes. Fair enough. Agony is only emotion. That seems to be the vibe. Yes, I'm Speedy. According to Taggart in the Frights books, Agony appears to be a purely emotional manifestation. Are Remnant and Agony explicitly separate things? Yes and yes. Yeah. Not to say they are mutually exclusive things, that they cannot coexist, but I would say they are explicitly separate because the books treat them as 2 different things that they are studying in that way. So, Burb, question then. Because if Remnant is soul metal, I mean, obviously the puppet does or should at least have some sort of like metal interface. But like, I don't know, dude. Yeah, whatever. Pure, yeah. Charlie's memories would need to be present in the puppet, which would suggest Remnant. What if the books are describing the Charlie bot process was trying to tell us Henry did program the puppet post Charlie death? That wouldn't be a shocking thing. Yeah, puppet has to have some circuitry machinery. Yeah, something's in there. Something's in there. Yeah, reading your Discord, I just don't think I think Remnant does have like a metal property to it. I don't know that it's I think Remnant is maybe like could be like a transmutation of an energy source. Like you and I have energy from glucose or whatever. Like we, you know, like that's we get energy the way humans get energy, and it can be transmuted into Remnant through like a potentially violent death, through a yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This is stressing me out. Fair enough, Burb. Remnant can't require metal because Jake is brought along with the head of the Simon doll, which was made of cloth. And he's, well, no, I mean, I'm with you, but like, doesn't Jake's essence end up in the battery? The fetch battery? Fetch battery was Andrew. Okay. Um, what are we saying then? I don't know. Lead paint is crazy. No, I mean, just because you like, I mean, it's not necessarily that I disagree with you. I just like don't, I'm just like struggling with the like, I'm struggling like with this whole thing because like if we're saying what like Jake is just as aware as Andrew, then there must be remnant present because agony is purely emotion. I just don't, it's like it's complicated. There you go, Snake. Exactly. Maybe it's like the potential for remnant. I don't know. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. If we're saying all this about Jake in this exact moment, that like somehow his like essence, whatever, I don't care, like found its way, you know. Well, because like that's what okay. This is what I'm saying is like that Stitch Wraith, the whole vibe of the Stitch Wraith stuff is like him experimenting with agony, not remnant. So I'm just confused. What is the implication of saying agony slash any emotion is a byproduct of remnant? I don't know. Yeah, maybe the idea seeker, yeah, maybe the idea is that like, yeah, it's like it was the potential was there, but it wasn't actually like able to do anything until it was introduced to metal. Anyway, what I was trying to say was if we're saying all that, then that leads way more credence to the idea that David's essence, whatever you want to call it, would easily have been able to get into the mimic even if it didn't die, even if David didn't die right next to the mimic. Cuz like one thing that I've been told or like that's been like debunking mimic being haunted by David in some capacity, possessed by David in some capacity, at least in the books, was that the mimic didn't die, or David didn't die anywhere near the mimic, and so like it wouldn't work the way that it did with Charlie, but like if his body was then what like carried somewhere or some, or if his agony was stuck to something else in the area, then it could have eventually found its way introduced to the mimic and then taken on its likeness, like if it was in the tiger plush. He has to have been crushed by the moon, otherwise he would have possessed a grill. Hilarious. um yeah, I'm speaking about the book David because I know the game David is just a different animal. Um, but in the book David, the book David, I do genuinely believe is a part of the mimic after his death. In theory, the tiger plush could hold David's essence, but wouldn't possess mimic until the animatronic got a hold of the plush. Yeah, exactly, Jax. Yeah. Oh God, this is also like it's just like this is exactly what we're talking about it. Yes, Carnage, true. Yes, that was another piece of my Remnantplex stuff. Is like I really do believe that like maybe you could even just specifically say like artificial intelligence like could be heavily influenced by emotions. I don't know. I would totally do something like that, Speedy. I feel like I would definitely just like end up haunting some some very mundane object. All this is like super complicated anyway, because like Remnant has to be kept at a specific temperature though, too, right? So like I'm having a hard time with the properties of Stitch Wraith as a Remnant object, not an Agony thing. Secret of the Mimic does imply that none of the Edwin's AI properly becomes sentient without some amount of agony being involved. Interesting, really? Yeah, after, but like, I mean, the Cleanovac works, right? And the coat rack and the Tulpa thing is my best way to describe it because it works for Charlie and the Silver Eyes and David and him too, and having the separate Ghost and White Tiger. Oh, I guess like sentient. Okay, I guess I misread or misunderstood your previous statement. I misunderstood your previous statement in the sense that like I thought you were saying like that the AI wasn't able to like respond to human whatever, like human I don't know what the word is. Like I feel like I'm getting very, very dumb. Like I feel like over the past like year, I've like lost the ability to think in general. Sure, Snake, sure. But it's supposed to like learn as you interact with it, and like get better like based off of like the human and connection, interaction, whatever. There's a specific word that I'm looking for that I can't find, but it's okay. Edwin makes these wishes and they ultimately fail. He wishes to bring Fiona back as a mother for David so he could work. He actually misses David and wants him to come back and kind of makes him. I don't know. Anyway, it's just like, I know you can't see me right now. I'm just trying to let her do her thing. There's nothing over here, Chibata. I threw the food away. There's nothing for you. Go ahead. Walk to the other side now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying then. By sentience, you like mean like, I don't know. Beyond programming. Yeah, monkey's paw kind of energy going on. You can make these wishes, but it'll always like take a dark turn. I don't know, guys. Yeah, no, Snake, I get it now. I think I was just confused. Like, I think in my head, I always interpreted, you know how like people would buy, say, the Cleanovac or something like that, and then it would go home with the family, And then it would be like after some time, it just starts to be weird and not follow instructions, not do what it's supposed to do. So in those cases, I was kind of like viewing the technology as yeah, the more time it spends with the family, the more that it like does kind of gain a sentience, very similar to how the robots, very similar to how the Glamrock Endos are trained in Help Wanted 2, where they learn from you, and in the Cleanovac was the only one that didn't start breaking. Okay, fair enough, yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still like, yeah. Yeah, they all went nuts, yeah. Maybe Edwin's dad essence inhabits the Cleanovac, and he was like this pure good businessman, so he was just a really good vacuum. Forever. So, yeah, I was just misinterpreting your statement as like all of his other inventions were fine, and but they weren't. I don't know, it doesn't matter. I think it just like, I don't know, this is like why I always get so discouraged. Every time I start trying to write about this stuff, I feel genuinely stupid. And I know I'm not. I'm not saying that I'm stupid. I'm like, ugh, like this is not the entirety of my life. But it's really hard to feel like even have anything worthwhile to say, because I'm just like, look, I'm just going off of kind of what I feel, kind of what I think, kind of what I can surmise, kind of what, and I don't really know how you talk about Remnant and or Agony in really any other way besides going down that like very scientific path that I don't even know. It's like, okay, sure, fine, that can be legitimate, but I don't even know how it helps me talk about Remnant Black. It's like outside of just saying like, see, look, this is like how the energy works. But it's like I'm just trying to figure out like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to figure out anymore. OM doofus for real. Yeah, just BKZ. It's a thing. It's a thing. I mean, the other problem is that it does require a lot of reading that I'm just like not motivated to do at all. I don't know. I just don't want to do this stuff. Remnant and Agony are probably meant to be treated less scientifically, mostly since I don't think Scott wants all the FNAF fans to get degrees in theoretical physics. Well, Snake, that's what I was saying earlier. That's what I was saying earlier, where I was like, maybe Scott understands it to that level, and maybe Scott in some way means it to that level. Like, that is, where he's coming from. That is his inspiration. That is where he's pulling from. That's the knowledge pool that he's pulling from to create these other things, just like all the alchemical connections that Absol made from the video we watched before. It's not that those things aren't like that, they do have these pieces that you can tie to, and it doesn't necessarily mean that Scott isn't thinking about that kind of stuff. But I don't think Scott has the expectation that we will go that far. So like that is where I'm kind of coming at this from. So if we're looking, I just want to make sure that I'm like not missing something or not like totally misspeaking when I am using terms like souls, when I am using terms like spirits, when I am saying instead memories, emotions, things like that. I want to make sure that I'm being not only charitable to people who like aren't interested in like the deeper implications of all of that metaphysically and such, but I think, sorry, I get lost in my train. I totally lose my train of thought when I look at chat, but then I don't want you guys to feel like I'm ignoring you. But like, it's like objectively, you are. You know, I am ignoring you if I'm not looking at you. But you know, I don't want to oversimplify things. The other side is like, I don't want to oversimplify things to the point where I'm just using these words in a way that fits my narrative and my theory. Like, I do want to be referencing the text. I do want to have a good understanding of the text, you know, but I'm not motivated to read the text and I don't like know what else to do, I guess. I mean, Roxanne breaks down and she says she's not a loser and that everyone still loves her. In a cardboard cutout, we see Cassie breaking down, and in another, we see her talking to herself in a mirror. Okay. I think the interaction between these different concepts matters more than the individual properties of each one, and that's what I want to figure out. Okay, fair enough. Sometimes ignoring chat is healthy. Let yourself clear your mind. Yeah, fair enough. Hi, Pablo. Yeah. I think the prevailing narrative that I want to try to push with Remnant is that it's a power source. Like, Agony is de facto described as a power source in the Frights books. And while I understand that they don't have the same properties or whatever, I feel like there's enough overlap to suggest that Remnant would also be a power source. Like, it powers my gamer massage chair. Do you really have one of those, Wasted? I've been looking at chairs recently because as much as this one's great, I don't know if you know this or you can tell, but I'm very low to the ground. It's not the most comfortable. And I'm getting ads for like massage gamer chairs. And I'm like, is that anywhere near worth it? I can't afford it right now anyway, but interesting burb. Interesting comparison. Oh no, the stream quality is dropping again. I don't know why it's doing this. It seems totally random. Before I thought maybe it was because I had like 20 tabs open and I was just like putting some strain on the system, but I don't know. I think maybe it would just be better for me to, I don't know. What's my dream chair? I don't know. Just a comfy one. Honestly, I would love a massage chair because I'm in pain all of the time. I haven't even been able to find a gaming chair for under $200 that's like actually ergonomic, you know, and not a scam, not claiming ergonomic. Finished 2 scripts. Oh, congratulations, Zeta. I remember when I said I was going to do productivity streams and then I just like barely did any. I just don't know, guys. Honestly, I think I do need like a better. That's funny, Seeker. I honestly do feel like I need like a better chair. Like I was hoping maybe getting this chair back down here would make me feel a little more comfortable in this space, but I don't know. I feel crazy. I feel crazy. The other problem is, like, I can't stretch out a gaming chair because my PC is, like, literally right here, and I really don't know where else to put my PC because it doesn't fit in the slot that it's supposed to be in. And now I'm just like, do I have to get a whole new desk because of my PC? Gaming chairs are super overrated and bad for the back. Well, I can't imagine what I'm sitting in right now is, like, good for my back. You know what I mean? It's like, office chair is where it's at. I just don't, I don't know. I don't know. Jax, that's hilarious. The best chair is the floor. I would be very, very far down then. You probably would hardly be able to see me if at all. Anyway, I'm getting cold, and I'm obviously not dressed for it to be warmer. So just let me go get a blanket and make sure my heat's on because I turned it off earlier because it was like pleasant outside today, which was great. But oh my god, I keep touching the wrong thing now that I flipped this. Okay. 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 It's 70 degrees in my house, so I think I'm just cold from, like, you know, spiritual energy. But I've got this now. Remnant chair. I did also see, like, gaming chairs that do have, like, a cooling function in the butt part, and I was like, girl, the sweaty the type of sweaty I get, you know, I was just like, that might be useful. Carnish, I completely agree with you. Snake. So is it true you're Susie's dog? You can't just ask people that. Okay, that's funny. What in the world? Tomorrow's weather is gonna break a record high for winter. And it says temperatures are gonna plummet later. Anyway. So what about let's read this just to switch gears. Let's read this short story. I mean, when is it surely it's in the public domain. It's a little short story from the 1970s. I imagine it's like okay for me to read this. Um and then we could kind of talk about that kind of thought process. But I don't know. I would venture to say that rather than it being like singularly David's energy that like we're, because we still have, obviously we have influence from Fiona. Obviously we have influence from the puppet. Maybe not in the modern day Plex, but before. 20 below freezing? That is cold. That's cold. Oh. What if I put a funny reference to Jackie's Box and Secret of Mimic Scott? But what could it mean? Okay, I'm gonna read this little short story. Let me pull it up. Well, I'll look up is it in the public domain? It's not. Okay, never mind. I don't want to get in trouble. I'll post it in the Discord and here. You didn't see this. Okay. Post it there if you want to read it, and I'll also post it in the Discord. So you guys have access to it if you'd like it. I don't know. How can we send it off? We are blind, we see nothing. What? Theoretically, that will work. I don't know. Oh. Y'all, I'll be taking you seriously. I've been taking you seriously. Anyway, so that's something. Apparently the author, Ursula K. Le Guin, lived until 2018, so rest in peace her. I literally was like I'm such a silly goose. But please read Ursula. Is that a different story by her? Are you just saying it's her name? Because I see that it's her name. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know how to close off stream. I wish with all my heart to fly with dragons in the land of heart. Or in a land apart. Let me talk about Brazil a little bit. Let me talk about Brazil just a little bit, okay? First of all, if you want to watch Brazil, obviously this is going to be spoilers for Brazil. But if you know anything about the Brazil ending, or if you've looked at anything, chop the screen in half. If you've looked at anything, regarding the Brazil ending of Help Wanted, Ruin, then you already know at least the ending of the movie. So it is what it is. So this is a synopsis of Brazil, and I'll go over this with you. I would love to make a video about this. So the story of Brazil is set in a dystopian. What is wrong with me? I'm going crazy. The story of Brazil is set in a dystopian near future of an indeterminate year of the 20. I think they meant to say 21st century, but they wrote 20th century, which doesn't make sense. Anyway. In a nameless authoritarian European country during the Christmas season. Terrorist bombings are frequent, and the government's war on these enemies of the state has lasted for a few decades. In a government office, a man sitting in a room full of teletype machines swats a fly on the ceiling. The fly falls from the ceiling, and one of the teletypes changing the name on the printout from Tuttle to Buttle. Okay, this is not what I need. What I am trying to say is dystopian. It's in a dystopian future. I thought this would at least talk about the world, but it's just going to literally go beat by beat in the story, which is a little more than what I need. This dystopian future is very highly technologically reliant. Everything relies on these machines. The machines are overtly complicated to do these tasks that they're unnecessarily complicated machines. But that's kind of what we rely on to accomplish tasks. And like it's like it even shows like people in their offices, and really like they're kind of like, it's kind of like my whole job is to push buttons, some like George Jetson kind of energy. My whole job is to push this button and I don't know what this button does kind of thing. Let me see. So anyway, Buttle is falsely arrested is what happens, but he's not even like a main character in this. Like he just does get arrested. But the rest of the story, that's not what I really need. Ugh, this isn't the summary that I would like to give. But I wish it would go more into like how they try to extract information. This is very frustrating. Is there more of a summary? Yeah. Sam Lowry, the main character, is a harried technocrat in a futuristic society that is needlessly convoluted and inefficient. That's kind of like where I'm. His dreams of a life where he can fly away from technology and overpowering bureaucracy. It's kind of giving Edwin. And spend eternity with the woman of his dreams. That's what he wants. While trying to rectify the wrongful arrest of one Harry Buttle, Lowry meets the woman he is always chasing in his dreams, Jill Layton. Again, it's giving Edwin vibes. Meanwhile, the bureaucracy has decided he's responsible for a rash of terrorist bombings. Ugh, see, none of this goes into the... none of this is going into the way that the... I'm not good at explaining how, like, the mind stuff works, but I don't see anything that's doing a good job of explaining that part. This is... okay. Let me just look up Brazil. Okay, let me see. Movie. Like, what's his face's name? Sam. Like, his whole, like... There's these specific jobs in the there's these specific jobs within the structure of the company, and one of them is like receiver. I did, Gibby. Well, I was trying to say something else and then I freaking forgot what I was gonna say, so I just went off. But they like I don't want to misspeak, so that's why I don't want to like I wanted to like find something explaining this so that I could like do a better have something better to explain it. But like no, is that what anyway. I'm just going to say it's also a movie. There's a pieces of the movie that also deal with the idea of like memory extraction by this higher power in order to like maintain their justice system and things like that. I don't know. It's not going to be something I'm going to be able to find easily. I feel like an idiot all the time. I'm not I'm just saying how I feel. Whenever I'm just like trying to like do basic research and it takes me way so long, then I'm just like, never mind. I'll just continue to be ignorant. I don't know. But anyway, it just like there's more about the Brazil movie that relates to the modern Five Nights at Freddy's, especially in regards to like the collection of Remnant, or at least the way that I think that it could be being collected. It's more than just the fact that the ending is a bunch of nonsense that isn't real. It's very specifically the why of him doing that. Like he breaks from reality in order to keep them from getting the information from his brain. So it almost feels like the way that Cassie does that. I mean, like it doesn't have to be this deep, but it's kind of like when she was caught, it's almost like the Brazil ending insinuates that she understands that they could extract information from her, and that breaking from reality will also have the same effect. But I wanted to like paint the picture better, and I don't want to misspeak on it, but let me see where it's available for streaming this movie. Movie. Okay, well, it's on YouTube for about $4, but it doesn't look like it's streaming anywhere. Bye, I'm Speedy. What info do they want from Cassie? Oh, I don't know. I mean, like, it could just be, it could be less about, like, the information, and it could be more having her identity as a tool. Like, having all of her memories of her dad would maybe be able to make them able to manipulate somebody else with something, you know? But it's very possible that, like, once they, you know, put the chip in her head, they already have all that anyway. I mean, like, they clearly do. So, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just going nowhere with this. I just thought it was interesting. More than anything else, I guess. But the way the bureaucracy and stuff works in the movie just kind of also reminds me of Fazbear Entertainment, where they're just like you're like, how are you this like wildly inefficient, and also like, you know, why are you like so evil, you know? But anyway, I don't know. Do I just want to do a little bit more gambling before I go? Nervous system movie night. Yeah, I'm afraid of like getting in trouble with that stuff. Always down. Okay. We'll do a little of that then, and then call it. I don't know. I feel like this wasn't as much of a stream that I wanted. I don't know. I think I'm just disconnected these days. Fictionally. Where is Steam? Where did it go? Okay. One day I'm gonna figure out what hitting the second play Clover Pit button does, but I'm really afraid of messing up my progress. Oops. You didn't see that. Okay. Panic. Okay. Who said you could sleep this much? Okay, we can now lose our money. So that's an important thing to consider. We can work up to this guy. Because we have been seeing a lot of diamonds. Maybe that's like a crazy... Let me just look at the phone. Okay. What does that mean? Activate all other current phone abilities. That's crazy. The I Love Shiny stuff could be worth it. Could be. But I'm just gonna have to say be right back on that because all those kind of seem like crap at the end of the day. Okay, what should we do? I mean, I kind of love just having both cats. Raccoon, it's just gambling, and we have 3 rounds of gambling to meet our goal. So right now, I've deposited 200 coins in, and I have to deposit 666 by the end of the 3rd round. And this is the gambling machine. This is a slot machine. I know what the name is. And if I get a 666 on the machine, I lose all the money that I currently haven't deposited. These are my charms, and each of them has like a specific property. So this one gives me luck, extra luck on my last spin. What do you do? Oh yeah, this gives me extra money on lemons, basically, to be. This cat gives me extra money. My interest is stated over here. Also, there's lemons, true. These are all the different patterns that I can get, and it'll kind of tell me what the money multiplier is. And then these tell me what symbols give me what kind of money and how frequently they appear. And we do love betting on lemon. But I haven't been getting any good lemon charms, and I don't want to spend money to reroll. I just don't want to. I feel like this is a good one to have. I'm just gonna let that. I'm just gonna roll with that, and then we can like work up to this, or we won't. I don't care. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me deposit my money down to 28. There we go. It'll tell you how much money you need for 7 spins. So I'm thinking let's just do 7 spins for this first one and see how lucky we get, and then we'll make some choices from there.
Let's go gambling.
That's never happened. Just my very first spin just gave me a 666. That is so stupid. That makes me so mad. At least it was early. At least it was early. That's crazy. This ain't it. This is simply not it. That was my lucky spin? What is this mess? Oh my gosh. Well, I'm in a pickle. Okay, we're gonna need to... Okay, we're gonna just need to do light spinning this time. Oh my gosh. Get us a couple of tickets so I can get one of these two. What in heaven's name? Actually, Kirsch, truly. How far have I gotten? I won a thing. I got a key. I have one drawer. And then I played for a while. We were lemoning it up. That was my New Year's stream if you want to watch me lemon it up with chat. So. That was nuts. That was horrible. That was horrible. Oh my god, I'm just gonna use this immediately this time. Okay, okay. Thank goodness for lemons. Finally coming through for us. Where were they last time? Do you know how to get 4 extra item slots from the phone instead of 1? What do you mean? Oh, we're not doing well. Okay, chill. We may very well lose. Okay. Clovers manifest more often. This is like I only use it the one time and then it's like that for the rest of the thing. That might be better. The phone deal that gives you an extra item slot. Oh, okay. Well, that's not even on the table right now. I don't want this. I feel like it might help me in this exact moment, but I just don't want it. I just feel like I don't want to take one of those phone deals this time. Clovers are a fairly safe one, I guess. Okay, Fufu. If I have questions about how the game works, I promise I'll ask them. You can ask chat. I definitely asked last time when I had questions about the game. It's kind of fun to figure things out, you know? Alright. Let's deposit down to 28. Then I feel like we kind of have to go for 7 this time. I don't know what else I would do. Okay. Oh my god. I'm just gonna lose. What happened to my cats? Do they only trigger like once per deadline or something? Okay, at least we got some stinking diamonds. I don't think we have enough money. Yeah, well, we died. Okay, but to be fair, like, that was horribly unlucky the entire time. Let's take my money. Look how close we were. Oh, well. Rough. Truly, Raccoon. Truly it was. Alright, well, we'll start another one. Maybe this time we'll get luckier. Ooh, hello. Are you still in here? Oh, wait, what? I had the freaking pony. I had the pony. Do I, like, absolutely have to use this to, like, make something happen in the game? That's cool. I didn't use my pony. It would have guaranteed me a jackpot. We could have kept going. I don't know why I didn't use it. Okay. Like, what does it, do you have significance or are you just here? I'll leave you for now. Car battery would only be useful if I already had stuff, so. I don't know. None of this really interests me.
Let's go.
Good for me. Oh my gosh, she's just going off. Ah! Lemons coming through. They be coming through. Why is it always the lemons coming through? Is it because they're the most likely to appear? I don't know. The cherries could be doing it for me, but they don't. Huzzah. All right. I'm so sad that I had that pony and didn't use it. I feel kind of silly. Not gonna lie. All right. Let's go. Let's go again.
Let's go gambling.
All right. I get it. Gosh. Okay, I could just go ahead and settle up and get 4 tickets right now, which may put me in a better place next time. I don't know, maybe worth it. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. All right. Yes, I do know that. Okay, the phone is ringing. Okay. An avid bell picture. Let's go. That might be good. 5% to my interest. I could get both of those right now. Okay, well, we might just grab both of those and just call it. Okay. Bells manifest more often. Increase charm space by 1 permanently. Okay, so what were you saying about this? You said if I put something on all my things, it increases it by 4? I don't know if I'll be able to do that before the end of the day, though. Okay, maybe a bell run. This may be a bell run. I'm just gonna do that. I don't even care. I'm just gonna do it. I don't care. Okay. Let's get down to 14 real quick. Well, 15, fine. Okay.
Let's go gambling.
God, you know what else, though? You know what else? I think the pizza's getting cold. You know what else, though? I feel like we also just always have a better run when I get a lucky coin or a fake coin or whatever at the beginning. And I don't have a fake coin, and I didn't have a fake coin last time. Those fake coins be doing it. Okay. The bells are popping off a bit. The bells are popping off a bit. I do miss my cats. I miss the lucky cats. So close. But you see again where the lemons are the ones coming through? What is it about the lemons? Even in a world where that should have been bells, it was still lemons. They just can't help themselves. Lemons are doing it for themselves. All right, I could stop right now and get 8 tickets. But I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna do one more round at least, because I don't get 666 on this one. Yeah. So we'll just do 3 spins
Let's go.
and get our extra tickets that way. You know, get some extra tickets that way. Okay, that sucked. Objectively. Sucked objectively. But still think I'm gonna go for it. Still think that this is better than getting just 12. I think I can get more. How many do you have? Still have 5 activations? Okay. Because this is it before I go back to having the chance. So let me just let's just play, you know? Before I can get the 666 mess. Because apparently I'm prone today. Dang. This just feels way better to me than focusing on the tickets right now. Let's go. Alright. 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 That's a good amount. 4 tickets is good to start the next round with. A good chunk of change to start the next round with. I think we're gonna be alright. Oh! Shut up. I want it all. But I'm up to, I got 3 right now. 3 out of 7. Okay, well, we'll definitely buy you. That's not even a question. Okay. What day is it? Halves the base chance to manifest clovers and bells. No, we don't need to do that. Doubles your coins. Set your tickets to 0. No. Halves the base chance to manifest lemons and cherries permanently, then apply the devious trait. No applying the devious trait. Let's just spin the rest of our tickets. What do I do? I feel like I have to do a bell run right now. I feel like I've just gotta. I could also re-roll if I don't like these. I don't hate this. If I was ever to do a cosplay of a FNAF or any other series character, what would it be? I mean, I've already cosplayed Vanessa. I'd love to do a Chica cosplay, like a party Chica kind of vibe, or even like a glam rock Chica. I think it would be so fun. Yeah, I don't know. Any other characters is hard. That's like such an open book. I might re-roll. I might just. Did it work? Oh, we got cat food! We got cat food! Oh, that's great news. Okay, that's actually great news. Okay. That's also great news. Oh, man. Oh, geez. Maybe I did need all of that. All those tickets. Maybe I did need all those tickets. Well, let me. What is it? It said double your money. Get your ticket. If I can get my tickets If it will take my tickets to 0, and then I can double my money. Let me... The only thing that could happen here is that I lose my money. I don't want to deposit my money. All of it, at least. Here, let me deposit, like, down a bit. Like, what's there? Then we're, like, halfway to the goal. Okay. Okay. Right now, I can't even do anything with you, but I only have one more that'll be charged. Right? So, let's get 2 more tickets so we can buy this, and then we'll do the phone thing. That's what we'll do.
Let's go again.
This is what we will do. And if I get a 6 out of 666 on here, then it was the way that it was supposed to be, and it was just the way that it was gonna always be. You know? It is what it is. Spooky. Oh, spooky. Okay. All right. Great. That was about to be terrifying, but we made it through. We can buy the florid cat food. Now we can double our coins, set our tickets to 0 because our tickets are already at 0. And look how much money we have! Perfect. Okay. That'll give us a lot of coins, but I really would rather play one more time. Or it's not coins, tickets. I'd really rather play one more time. Should I... Should I play for 2 tickets or 1? We could just do 2 rounds of 1 ticket, but we could... I'd rather get this, I think. Ah, I'm losing my mind. I don't have anything in there. We're just gonna go for it. We're just gonna go for it. Ah! I'm so stressed. Oh.
Let's go.
Okay. Dang it. Okay, he's all used up. This is so stressful. Okay. I think I might just get the 666 protection here. Here's what I can do. I'll get the 666 protection. And then I can do the recharge on the next one. Because I'll still get 3 tickets at least at the end. Or should I just go? Maybe it's better I just go. Maybe it's better I just leave this guy behind. Maybe there'll be something better in the future or something. I don't know. Well, I can do... I'm gonna do it. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. Okay, cherries, I see you. I see you, cherries. Okay. It worked out in my favor. It worked out in my favor. Okay, you recharge. Okay. Yay! Okay, now I have to get a lot. Oh! Huzzah! Lucky cat. Okay, and naughty dealer. Okay, I've got some good options here. Okay. Time to bet on yellow. Avid trade symbols. Symbols multiplier +2 to a random lucky charm you have equipped. Okay. Bells made to face more often again. Or increase the value of patterns with 3 or less symbols by their base value. I'm gonna do this because then Lucky Cat that will synergize with, right? That makes the most sense. I'm just making the choice. Okay. And then we'll work on this stuff. Okay. Oh wait, no! This is the wrong Lucky Cat! I'm an idiot. Well, it's okay. Well, that's fine. Ooh. The charging-based information. Interesting. I'll work up to this fella. I don't think I have a lot of synergy going on right now. I bought the wrong... I was not thinking straight. I'm so frustrated with myself. Oh, well. I think I can deposit, like, most of this. Down to 42. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Let's go again.
I'm just gonna... at least I don't have to worry about 666 until, you know, until I do, right? This is great news. There we go. Okay, okay. Things are going all right. Things are going all right. See, I didn't even need that bells more often thing. All right. Okay, if I just get one more, I can get him. Let me... Okay. I'm gonna keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh my gosh, you have Stardew Valley open. That's funny. I want to play more Stardew Valley as well. There's just too much. There's so much to the beginning of the game. It's so hard to start a new Stardew is what I was trying to say. Gracious me, that's spooky. At least I know the first time it does it, it's really fine. But if it is gonna do it, like, I would rather it do it earlier in the game than later in it. Or like earlier in the spins than later in them. Woof, that was crazy close both times. Okay. Now I can get him. He just always keeps getting better, you know? Okay. Oh, wait. But if I... There. Okay. Trying to think. I think I'm gonna go for less spins this time because it's still 5 spins plus whatever my like plus whatever however often my lucky token thing does it. Yes, let's go. There we go. See, we basically got 7 spins anyway. Especially with the cat food, it's totally chill to just do it that way. All right. Okay, now I have 5. What do you do? Oh, okay. I see. I see. Ugh. Bye, Gibby. Thank you. At the gambler tray, gain 1 free restock every deadline. Lucky Charms at the store discounted by 2. Or double the value of lemons and cherries. That might be worth it. I don't know. I don't actually even really want most of these. I just really just want this. Oh. I could honestly probably trash this at this point. Okay. I'll do you. What were your options? Kind of like this. Kind of like that. No offense, lemons. I feel like that's gonna bite me in the butt because of, oops, because of lemons. I feel like the lemons are gonna be like, buddy, how dare you?
Let's go again.
Dang it! That is so lame. All my little plussies are showing up on things that don't have... I mean, not that they have to, but it's so frustrating anyway. We're just definitely not living the dream like we once were. You guys remember when we were living the dream? The lemon dream? Woof. Guys!
You got it.
All I had to do was summon the lemons. Gibby's lemon luck did work. Thank you, Gibby. Wow. I'm on top of the world. It's incredible. Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm sad that about what I bought from here. What do we get? Little star. If the last spin didn't score any patterns, the next one will grant a horizontal in the center. Okay. Okay, that's because that was my 10th jackpot. Okay. Fun. Okay. Let's deposit and keep going. 56. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. Did not mean to do that. Well, let's just do this then. Well, this is technically still 7, honestly.
Let's go again.
We're not gonna use this time because we're already at our 1 round left, and I feel like that's like a waste of it. Oh wait. Aw, but it means I can't use this one. We're really close to being dead, actually. I'm just now realizing how close we are to being dead, so never mind. We will actually have to use them. We're just gonna have to hope that, well, I don't remember what I was trying to say what we were gonna hope for. Oh yeah, that. We were gonna have to hope that the fake coin came in clutch. That's what I was trying to say and remember. Indigo Park Chapter 2 trailer is seriously giving you Foxy vibes? Okay. Do we have like a release date for it yet? Or are we still... Verdict is out on that. Oh my god. We have terrible, terrible luck. Terrible luck! Oh, shoot. Shoot. Okay. Is that it? Okay, no, I do have 1 left. Zoinks, y'all. This is not going well. I need a lot. Okay, I definitely need all my spins this time, so there we go.
Let's go again.
This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. I think we may be done for the day. This is not going well. This is what I get for not siding with the lemons. I should have gone lemons 100. I should have never ever ever gone against the lemons. As much as the cat and the dealer and everybody else is doing for me, nothing is gonna equate to if I just gone full sail lemon run. This is never gonna get us up there. Woof. Well, we tried. Everyone, we really did try. Did everything I could there. Take me, Claw! Claw! Take me! Take me with you. Nothing. Well, that's all right. Attempts were made. Yeah. Effects that generate permanent value are greater for surviving longer. You don't say. Is Kippy, is this like your second channel? I did get all the lemons though. All right. Okay, I was like, who is this person trying to pretend that they're... I did. I get a whole lemon jackpot after you left, but then I still died because I frankly, I wasn't good enough to the lemons, and I frankly didn't deserve it. Frankly, I didn't deserve it. Because I didn't pick the lemon option on the phone. And that just is what it is. How much of this game have I technically completed? I've only unlocked 9 out of 30 achievements. There's a lot going on in this game. There's a lot going on in this game. Oh my gosh, open a memory pack. Get out of the room? There's a way to get out of the room? Oh my god, there's all kinds of stuff you can do in this game. Okay. I think increasing the debt is something that's important for me that I haven't been doing yet. I think I'm gonna have to go for it. All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Thank you for letting me yap. Thank you for yapping with me. Thank you for letting me gamble. Fake gamble. No, don't real gamble. That's bad. All right. I don't know. I'll be back Friday. I don't think there's going to be a video yet again. I hate to keep doing it to y'all, but trust I am doing it to myself too. I'd love to make a video. Every time I'm like actually in the mood to write something for a FNAF video, it's like 2 in the morning. It's like 2 in the morning, but I promise things are in my head and I'm trying. I think my thing is that I keep going, okay, I need to read the Frights books so that I can better understand all the science mumbo jumbo. And then I'm like, but I was in the middle of reading Tales and I really should finish Tales first. And then I'm like, but I don't want to read Tales. So I'll do my best. Okay? And we'll just see where the world takes us. Zeke is excited to go potty real quick, so I'm going to let him go. He's right here. Do you want to come say hi to everybody? Do you want to come say bye at the end of this stream? Do you want to come here? Here. You can hop up in this chair. You're good at this one. Come on. You come here. Zeke, you look so sad. You come here. You come here. Want to come say hi? Want to come get pets? You want to go get pets? You want to go get pets? He's so excited, but he's just not quite sure. You can kind of see his head. He's just not quite sure. Say bye, everybody. Say bye, everybody. Say bye. All right, have a good night. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Oh.